What up, guys? What up, guys? Um, I wasn't going to cover this story, but out of respect for 50 Cent, I was not going to cover this story, but I have to because I covered everybody else, you know. And trust, it's not even a views thing because I know other ways to get views. It's pretty simple, but this stuff is starting to get on my nerves. Where the way they are using grape, you know what I mean? The way they are using these anytime they get exposed, it's almost like, okay, break out the emergency. Boom. He graped me every single time. And I believe most men know it's bullshit. In my opinion, I believe most men know it's BS when certain women be coming out and saying these things. I believe most men know it's BS, but because they don't want to be seen as the bad guy, because they don't want to be seen as the bad guy, they're just afraid to be like, wait. Oh man. So this is gonna be I'm not gonna focus too much on this story in terms of I'm not going to dive into why he's clearly innocent, but all I can tell you is this specifically. Usually when a man is fighting for full custody, which 50 Cent decided to do when Daphne Joy was listed as one of the sex workers in Diddy's court documents by Lil Rodney, if I'm not mistaken. Once that was exposed to the world, Daphne Joy ain't had nowhere to go. And then on top of that, 50 Cent did the ultimate power move. He said, "Oh, this is what you be doing? All right, I'm filing for full custody." Now, Daphne had nowhere to go. She has nowhere to go. And when you corner a cat, what do? You know what I'm saying? This is what happens when you corner a cat. Expect the irrational, expect the claws to come out. You know what I mean? Oh, sorry guys. Hold on. I opened up my phone by accident. But just expect these things, man. They always use that. That's the final trump card is always abuse or grape. And she used both. It's always either abuse or grape. Because now she's gonna get nothing out of dealing with these so-called powerful men in terms of dealing with Diddy, in terms of 50 Cent. So she got a son out of 50 Cent, but now he files for full custody. He files for full custody. I don't even think in terms of as far as child support is concerned, I don't even think you can the what you can claim as money, you can't even get no claims in terms of child support. Then on top of that, you lose Diddy, one of your main financiers, or basically the people connected to him that uses you for money. Now your game is put out there. She ain't got nowhere else to go. So she's going to do what she can to save her save face socially and financially. So this is the card that she tried to pull, you know. But before we even get into all of that, the nitty-gritty of that, um let's go on Twitter and first of all, let me open up the panel. Let me open up the StreamYard link. I'm not gonna do a whole lot of talking tonight because I'm gonna like today I'm gonna put a hard cap. Like I know I say this almost every other time, almost every other time, but today I'm gonna really put a hard cap. Midnight, I'm going to cut off the stream. But I want to give everybody a chance to talk on this matter if need be. Um, unfortunately, what people got to understand in 2024, you got to understand women use that they use that that card that they use consent. They play with it like it's Madden sliders, right? So in the game of Madden, you have the sliders on 50, whatever, and then when things are not going your way, then they mess with the Madden sliders to see if they can start winning. That's how women use consent. And like I said, even when it comes to all this Me Too and girls talking about, oh, he raped me, or they regret it so that he raped me. A lot of this, I believe men dropped the ball when it came to that Bill Cosby case. I really believe it because when that Bill Cosby case happened, because a lot of black comedians, they were still upset. They were still they were basically because there was a beef, unfortunately. Because a lot of people are such big babies in fucking real life. Like just because a OG says you're doing something wrong, it's not personal. It's just their opinion. Like, so Bill Cosby had this thing where he would criticize a lot of the newer, younger, up and coming comics for cursing and whatnot and using profanity. That's so he used to be heavily critical on that, and I'm like. And I don't know, for some reason, black male comics took it so much to heart. So then when Bill Cosby got into trouble, they're just like, you a hypocrite. So that's that's basically how they was you know what I mean? Hold on for a sec. Should I StreamYard? If you wanna chime in on the case, or if you have any questions on the case, V, you can just come in, pause, and um I'll open up the article and we'll even start on this case if need be. You know what I mean? Because I was even gonna do a video. I was not even gonna do a video or live stream on this, but um anybody's welcome. I put the let me pin my StreamYard link. Let me pin it. So anybody's welcome to come through and speak on the case. Um if you want. But in the meantime, let me see. Pyro, it's okay. Got you. All right. It says now you're connected. Okay. Hey man, how's it going, bro?
Everything is good, man. How
Man,
you
so
doing?
yeah, man, not bad, man. I was even gonna do because I really didn't want to cover the case because it was just to me, it was such a when I saw her drop the story on her thing saying, "Oh, he abused and raped me," and I was like, "Are you serious?"
Of course, of course.
I'm like, she used both of the main excuses that they use, grape and abuse. Now, the thing is, what's interesting about the case is now she's going because 50 had decided this was she said all of this right after 50 Cent decided to file for full custody. So, but what people don't understand is once he brings her to family court, you can just alley up women can just alley up claims against you in family court without evidence. So that's just a strategy of hers. But most, there was still a lot of women in the comment section saying, well, what if she's telling the truth? And you're just like,
Women
so,
would they would just cap for each other.
I just, because I sometimes I see how women come together when it comes to stuff like this, and I just wish men would do that. And I want to bring up because since we got time, I want to bring up the Bill Cosby case again because
Yeah.
because what happened was, you might not even remember, but during that time when all these 304s was coming from the 1960s and 70s saying Bill Cosby did this and that, do you know who came to his defense? Do you know who the
A
people that
woman.
came to his defense? Women, black women.
Yeah.
More black
Yeah.
women came to his, I'm talking about the celebrities,
Yeah. They told
particularly
me
the
at the time.
celebrities. It was more black female celebrities that came to his defense, including his wife. None of the black male celebrities want to even touch it, and if they did, they were like, "Oh yeah, but I remember when Bill Cosby was talking about us cursing, but look at which." And I'm literally just like, these niggas, man. They don't. They just don't. They the only like black men that were sticking up for him were the pro blacks, right? Because
Yeah.
they're going off of, oh, he's a black man and he's being attacked. That's not what I was looking for during that time. I really wanted the blacks male celebrities to really show out in their support. I don't understand how you got Claire Huxtable. Was it the what's the old female actress? She came out in defense of him. Rudy Huxtable came out in defense of him. Jill Scott, and then she had to rescind it. But I'd even hold that against her because she has a music career to think about, and I'm not even expecting women to come out and really, you know what I mean? So it's really
Yeah.
frustrating.
That's true.
Really frustrating. Anyway,
Yeah.
let me add on V2 here real quick.
Most of these guys are just complete fake.
Yo,
Just fake.
guys.
Hey, hey,
Oh,
hey. How you
hey,
doing?
what's up, V?
Yeah, I'm just socializing. I don't really have anything to share, but you know,
No,
yeah.
that's fine because we're still gonna go over some other things. But Pyro, continue what you were saying.
Yeah. Yeah. I was saying, these guys just seem fake completely. Like they would just go against anybody, even if it was in their best interest. Like they seem butthurt. They seem butthurt. Like they they seem like he already got knocked down. So they're trying to kick him while he's down.
Hmm.
Like they're saying, yeah, yeah, who's talking now?
Yeah. And even then, like I could tell because this is the problem with having a when you got a generation raised by single mothers and all this stuff. I'm like, have y'all never? I'm like, none of y'all ever had like a judgmental grandpa or a judgmental uncle. I'm like, y'all really taking what Bill Cosby said to heart so much so that you're willing to throw him under the bus when really most people should have been like, nah, there's bigger powers at play. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
it's just I don't get it, but a lot of the stuff that men are complaining about right now is because the men before us dropped the ball. Bottom line, that's my opinion. I could be wrong on that, but I've seen way too many cases where it's certain dudes because they didn't like him or they said something to them in the past. And then once they got in serious trouble, right? Like guys like Orange Man, right? Orange Man,
yeah,
uh
yeah,
uh uh Bill Bill Kavanaugh. What's his name? Yeah, Kavanaugh. Uh um these cases, right? R. Kelly specifically, right? They don't understand, a lot of the men at the time don't understand the term of presidents, right? Sorry, president, when a certain president is taking place. So with Bill Cosby's case, I remember being in high school and I remember being scared because it was literally girls from, I'm like, isn't this past the statute of limitations? I'm like, they can do that to niggas? I didn't know they could do that. So I was like, oh, okay. So, all right. Now I'm looking at these women that they don't even remember completely what happened during that time. But what I saw were escorts, former hookers, former groupies talk basically talking about how they regretted really what they were doing, but then at the same time saying that Bill Cosby was taking advantage, so therefore it's grape. And I was like, what? This makes absolutely no sense. And I'm like, if we can do this where we're going back 30, 40 years to make somebody guilty, I mean, nobody, I said no man is safe. But
Yeah, that's true.
unfortunately, but most men didn't really take it like that. They were just like, ah, look what happened to Mr. Pudding Pop, Mr. Positivity. But I'm like, you guys don't understand, because now from here on, from henceforth, right? Henceforth, from there on out, any past dealings you had with a broad, I'm talking about anything that went wrong, and she even hints at something weird happened, that's enough. And people don't understand what happened. When I always said what happened to Bill Cosby can happen to you. You know what I mean? Meaning anything that went wrong with whatever girl you was
Yeah,
with back in the day, if anything went wrong, you could still, you could end up like Bill Cosby. But men, they just couldn't see that far ahead.
and the thing is, Chris,
Yeah.
Chris, if you notice, like these women, like if it was the average man, he would immediately went to like prison or jail the same day. But
Mm.
like, like if it's like these celebrities or superstars, it takes like decades just to report it.
Yep. But even what you even talk about when we say like the day-to-day man, right?
Yo, Chris,
I
Chris,
go ahead. What's up?
how do I watch out for this type of woman though?
Well, like I said,
How about the
all I
woman?
w- all like I said, you most men probably don't have to like they probably, I'll say this, half of the men don't have to worry about this, because the highest ceiling in their life is probably going to be making more. Most men are not going to make more than 80K a year, right? But if you are a man that you want to aim high in life, in terms of you want to be a high earner, or you want to be an entertainer, you want to be a musician, right? If you have high aspirations in life, you just have to watch what kind of women you are dealing with while you are dating, making
Okay.
sure that if you break up with a girl, make sure she broke up with you, not you broke up with her. Make sure she broke up with you. Make sure, hopefully, she moves on first, and make sure everything is cordial between all those, basically the days of just pumping and dumping women or one night stands. You have to be careful of just discarding women. Because back in the day, what men would do, they'll do, they'll do pump and dump, one night stands. And now, if you don't keep track, and you're making sure, and you're not keeping track if the woman that you was messing with was paid for, if you just kicked her out your apartment without making sure she had a taxi or a Uber home, then you have to worry. You know what I mean? And like, say for example, a guy like 50 Cent, I could tell he has his tracks covered. I can tell that he makes sure whatever broad that he messes with, they're financially taken care of after he's done with them. So I never had to worry about that. So now with 50 Cent, what he has to worry about, and what most men have to worry about now, is if you're not a pump and dumper, or if you're not one of these guys that just want to get your body count up, and you just have you just want to have be if you just want to be in committed relationships, you got to even watch out for those women too. So whoever, the mother of your child, right, your wife, your close girlfriend, none of them are above making these crazy allegations against you. So now men really have to vet the women that they are with. The days of pumping, dumping, and discarding them when you're done with them, those days are over. So that
Okay.
would be my advice for you. So if you have high aspirations, just understand when you're dealing with a woman, she's not free. Make sure she is financially taken care of
Okay.
when you're with her,
Okay.
basically. And make sure every woman you're with to be so for it to be so you gotta be square, meaning where she can't say, "Oh, you were abusive." You just gotta make sure whatever girl you with, make sure you treat her straight, make sure she's straight financially, make sure you're not you're not putting yourself in a situation where she can say, "Oh, you took advantage of me," because that's going to even so like say even if you're poor right now, right? And you got over on her in any way. Now you can get away with it now, but in the future, say if you end up being a high earner, she might come back because she's going to keep tabs on you.
Yeah.
Just make sure
Keep
you
you in the
don't put
report.
yourself exactly. Just make sure you don't put yourself in a situation where she can say, "Oh, you took advantage of me." Just don't take those kind of risks. I
Got
know
it.
it's a
Got
I know it's a lot, but I'm just saying if you want to deal with women nowadays, you had to make sure you dot all your I's, cross all your T's when you're with women in this day and age.
okay.
Yeah.
Yo,
So
do you
basically how
think
you're doing oh sorry, say it again.
Bieber? Do you think Justin Bieber got diddled by Diddy?
Yes.
Oh shit,
So
bro.
but that's unfortunately that's the industry, unfortunately. And Justin Bieber probably did not also get that's my opinion. I could be wrong on that, but it probably wasn't just Diddy, you know what I mean? It was probably other people. I is maybe even Usher probably and Justin Bieber were together too intimate. Unfortunately, I believe that as well because Usher has written I think a couple songs for Justin Bieber, so he could have been a part of that too. Um, when it
No
comes to
wonder. No wonder why he's so sad now.
yeah,
Like
the industry, unfortunately, it'll take a toll on you, especially if you're in there without any protection, particularly if you don't have any male protection coming into the industry. Where you see all these Disney stars going crazy, you see all these Nickelodeon stars going crazy, is because they got touched when they were young kids. They'll, unfortunately you have, you got these dressing rooms and people just be coming in and out and it'll be kids in there, left unprotected, and you're and you're just, and then on top of that, you take into account all these young stars or these young kids that are basically being sold by their parents into the entertainment industry because they promised the parents that, oh, your kid's going to be famous, just leave your kids to us, you know what I mean? And
I
or
was going to say that.
you'll have
I
these,
was,
or you'll have these actors and actresses going to these kids' families and be like, "Oh yeah, just have your kid stay with us. We'll legally adopt your kid, and he's gonna be." And you're just like, you wouldn't let no stranger just adopt your kids or take guardianship over your kids. But if you're famous, you can do that. Go ahead, Pyro.
yeah, yeah, I was like I was gonna say the same thing. You're really gonna let like powerful people who have money take your kids. If if you stick that in your mind, like you could just imagine the things they do behind closed doors, and you're gonna make them take your kid. Yeah, that's a terrible idea.
But like I said, I don't know if you remember a video I did a while back, and it was um it was like two girls. It was like two high school girls. They were waiting at the bus stop, and like a clean cut guy came through with his yellow Lamborghini and said, "Look, yo, your parents told me to pick you up. You guys want to hop in?" And they just hopped in the car without hesitation. And then during the ride, he was like, I lied, right? And it was just like, oh no. And then he was like, you know what? Actually, your mother set up this whole thing just to see if you would go into the car, and you guys failed. And most of the comments in the video were just like, why would these girls go into the car with a guy they don't know? All the comments said that. And I was just like, these guys be missing it. If the guy pulled up with a messy ass haircut, looking like Osama bin Laden, with a dirty ass white van, talking about, "Hey, you guys want to hop in? My
Yeah, they would
your
go.
mom."
They would go.
They would they would start screaming. They start videotaping. They'll take out their phone immediately. Now, same scenario. Clean cut guy comes through with a yellow clean Lamborghini, and all phones are away. They're just in full submission already, just like that.
Yeah,
And
true.
I remember I put the comment. I was like, unfortunately, their mother, both of those girls' mother, um, the mother now is sad because now she found out that both of the, both of her daughters belong to the streets. People think that people, I don't know why people think that all these girls that be getting traffic is these dudes in these dirty ass vans. And no, what happens is the guys will just literally say, hey, you want to come to I got a yacht, you want to come to my yacht? They get to the yacht, and then you don't ever see them again. It's
Yep.
that easy. You don't even need a fancy car. All you need is weed, really, especially in America. All you need is some weed, and you can lure out most of the teenagers without any effort. Catch they'll catch a Greyhound bus just to get some weed. You know what I mean? People think it's just these
Yeah.
dudes in a van or in a unidentifiable truck or whatever. No, if a girl gets approached by a guy like that in that situation, she's gonna start recording you and talk about, man, we got to get these guys off the streets. And but the normies, they kill me with with the
Naivety.
exactly. They just think that, look, they just really think that the villains are, they go off, if you're a villain, by how you look. Basically, how you look is what they determine if you are a villain or not. And this is why
Well, that
many women get taken advantage of.
true. True.
you know. But I was gonna bring up let me bring up something real quick, because I had a comment. I'm trying to look for a video I had dropped. Somebody said something. I gotta find it real quick. It was a video I dropped. I don't know why I can't find the video. Um, let me see. Oh, hold on. I got it. I think. I think I got it. I think I got it. My, my bad, guys. I gotta. Let me see. Because it was a comment that somebody had dropped, and I was flabbergasted. Oh, and I wanted people to react to it. Let me see. Any menu opens up, gets to find out. Never open up. Damn. I don't remember what video it necessarily was. I'll have to find it in the meantime. But in the meantime, let's do another video. In the meantime, let's hit up something else real quick while I find this comment. Oh man, this is gonna be a sneak peek right here. This is a video that I just found. This is hilarious to me. This is hilarious. I want you guys to take a look at this, because a lot of the people ask, man, why is divorce statistics where they are, or why is this where they are, why is that, you know what I'm
Um,
saying? Well, a lot of it is just the laws and the convenience of it. And when you're looking at the financial incentives that that are there, most women are going to take the easy way out, because the easy
yeah,
way out is actually to break up your family. And there's really no incentives for, I'm talking about positive, financial, social. There's not really many incentives for women to keep their families together. So this is all of this comes together. But take a look at this video.
Opinion you defend like this. A whole sea of people have one opinion.
Your divorce is a blessing. Dealing with your ex and spending all that money, that part sucks. But getting the opportunity to start over again and create the life that you deserve, blessing in disguise.
What opinion will you defend like this? A whole sea of people have one opinion.
Your divorce is a blessing. Dealing with your ex and spending all that money, that part sucks. But getting the opportunity to start over again and create the life that you deserve, blessing in disguise.
What opinion will you defend like this? A whole sea of people have one opinion.
Your divorce is a blessing.
My bad, guys. But any thoughts about divorces being a blessing?
Yep, yep, yep.
well,
You see,
let me
the thing is, no, when humans know they can get away with doing certain things, it's most likely they always do it, you know?
Yeah.
That's what
Hmm.
I think.
Pyro?
mm,
Plus,
Oh my bad.
yeah,
I'll let you go.
no, it's
Sorry. I
okay.
thought I. Oh, V, you good?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Oh, okay. Pyro.
yeah. Let me tell you why it's a blessing. First thing is, if you're in it for a good while, you're gonna get alimony. If you have, I mean, for the woman. The second
Yeah,
thing
exactly.
is,
I know.
if you have kids with the woman, that's even more money for she. And then again, if he's the breadwinner and he makes a good amount of money, she gets a payout. So she actually get away for free, especially if they own a big house. So if she leaves, she's gonna get a big cut.
Hmm. I always the perfect analogy that I always use is, I forgot which movie it was, but it was like a bunch of executives. They were talking about this musician Miles Davis and how he's actually worth more dead than alive. And this is a technique that the people up top, in terms of when it comes to the musicians and paying the artists, paying the artists what they deserve, or you'll see like certain artists, they end up going missing, or they end up dying of mysterious causes. They don't know who killed who, but
Oh, there's a
you know,
documentary of that. I watched that on
yeah,
YouTube. I don't remember.
yeah. So it's the same process. The woman looks at the husband after she gets the kids out of him. You know what I mean? After
Yeah.
she's reached, because there's certain states you don't qualify for alimony only after a certain amount of years. So after she's reached the max of that, now she's literally looking at the situation. I got what I needed. I got the house. Now, if I break up with him, I can keep the house. I can still keep the kids, most likely. Now she can still ask for child support and the alimony, and I can keep my little job, whatever, it could be bagging groceries, but I can keep that. And then I'm looking at it now. I don't like my husband anymore. Now he is worth more dead than alive. And how can I kill my husband without actually killing him? Or how can I kill my high earning spouse without actually killing him or her? Divorce. It's that simple. But, when you break it down like that, and like, especially if you're like in the comment section, that's why I don't even try to argue with the women in the comment section about this, because all they do is deny, 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 deny every single time. And you'll put the stats right in front of them. Here's what I want men to understand: this, they know about this. Even what you think a woman is, a hood, the hood rat chicks that you think that aren't smart. Oh, they know about this. Trust me.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a video with Ari Fletcher. I don't know if do you know who Ari Fletcher is? By any chance, Pyro?
No.
No, so it's one of those. So she's in that mold of Cardi B and these type of women, right? Suki Hana, these people. She's in that same mold, basically.
Oh,
Young Miami, and these people. So she's of that same mold, right? But she has a boyfriend, a very steady boyfriend, a rapper called Moneybagg Yo. But she makes more than him, like
yeah.
significantly way more than him. Now, one of her straggle daggle friends was asking her live on a TV show, on a reality TV show. And she basically asked her, "Oh, why are you and Moneybagg Yo? I mean, y'all are tight. I mean, why don't y'all just get married?" And she literally she starts breaking down the finances of, because I'm a high earner, I'm this blah blah blah. If something happens and we split up, I'm gonna lose half. I'm talking about the way she was breaking it down. I was like, oh, she's very well educated on the finances of how this works. Now it makes sense why you got all these women that are higher earning women that earn higher wages now, and they're talking about, oh no, I can't date anybody below my my wage, because they know if they put themselves in the same position as that men have been doing for millenniums, right?
Yeah.
They're like, no, I'm not finna lose half my stuff. Same with Rihanna, said the exact same thing. She's like, I make more than ASAP Rocky. I'm not marrying him and losing half of my stuff. And so they know what the game is. They've been well taught by the women before them what the finances of doing certain things. They know the finances of 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 how to gain more in child support. They understand that the less custody that they have of their kids, the less child support earnings they get, the less custody that they have of their kids, the less that they qualify for certain benefits, food stamps, etc. So they understand, even though the ones you like, women are not dumb. They understand, and they've been well taught by the women before them, that even their enemies, right, their frenemies, they are very well educated on the American system, on the incentives of how to get more money
Yeah.
without the man, without a man being involved, and being able to siphon money out of a man without having to sleep with him or having to serve a man. So they are very well versed on how to do this.
Criminals. They're criminals.
It is, but family court, they don't see it that way. You know what I mean? Family court is there. It's another extortion racket. If I don't know how to, I don't know how a nicer way to say this, but it's another extortion racket. But I like where this is going. I like where this is going. I'm gonna give you guys another video. Let me give you guys another video. Let me see. We can hit the next one. So here we have a quote unquote strong and independent woman, but she doesn't want to be strong and independent anymore.
Nah, nah,
Right?
nah. Keep that same energy 24/7.
Oh yeah, and by the way, because AJ had dropped an interesting video. He had dropped a video of basically women crying because they're not getting the results in terms of the IVF treatment to have a baby, because they can't have a baby or whatever at a certain age. And I have a theory on this, right? Because AJ says that they really want kids, but I disagree. I don't think I know it might be controversial, but I believe that now that women have all the freedoms that they want, I believe most women in the West, if left unchecked, I believe they really don't like kids at all.
Yeah,
So
if it doesn't benefit them.
it just like I'm talking about. I don't think they want to be. I really think they don't love kids, but it's just something that we've been just taught that they're natural nurturers. But I think that is a myth. So
I kind of
them
think that.
wanting them wanting kids after 30, blah blah blah. That's just their body. That's just their biology screaming at them. It's not love. It's not that they want kids. It's just biology keeping
Yeah,
kicking in.
what they call it, baby rabies.
Baby rabies. Exactly. Perfect. So just because she has baby rabies and men are like, so men will see this and they'll be like, ah, you see, you're just finally it's you're doing what you're naturally supposed to do. I think women hate that this happens to them. So this
Yeah,
is what I this is this I believe they really hate that this happens to them. The same, like almost the same way that men at times hate that their testosterone gets the better of them.
yeah.
In that
Like
same
they smash ugly
True,
chicks
true,
like
true.
they, they smash chicks too like they wouldn't even touch. You know, tell no.
exactly. And let that post nut clarity, then they're just like, oh my god, I'm putting my life on the line messing with her. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Literally, men will put their whole life. So that's not love. Like, so that would almost to say that, oh man, I really want. So for a woman to say that, oh, I really want kids right now, in that instance, that would be almost like saying, oh man, that man really loves that really fat chick that was there at 3:69 a.m. Um, last call. That's not that's not love. And I believe conversely, not love in terms of, oh, if she says she doesn't want to be strong and independent anymore, you really got to stay away from her. I'm talking about really, really, really stay away from her. And that's most American women, in my opinion. I believe most American women hate kids. They don't want, and I know people can say, oh, but it changes after 30. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Either you love kids or you don't. Because if you want kids, you would do the steps necessary to make sure they're in a better position, meaning you would have them younger, and if you did have them younger, make sure you're married first. So the women that you see that they make sure, okay, I'm married, I'm in my third or second year in college, okay. Right, I'm under 23, I'm 24, whatever. um my husband, he loves me, he or they make sure they're in a stable situation first, right? This shit where these hoes are strong and independent conveniently, and then conveniently at age 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, oh, I'm tired of being independent. Any man that's messing with her after that, you're you're gonna set yourself up to be destroyed, because you're dealing with a monster. You're not dealing with somebody that actually wants a family. You're just dealing with somebody that's trying to is basically, she's trying to settle down her biology from literally taking over her whole brain. So she's just trying to get that done. Because when women don't have kids after 30, I'm sorry, after a certain time, particularly if
They
they're over 30 without a kid,
they hit the
there are
wall.
in better there's a high chance that they're going to hit menopause early. So their
yeah,
body is literally like, yo, you need to get a kid right now. You're 10 years too late already, technically. 10 years past your prime in terms of producing healthy kids. So you better get this thing done right now. Because if she hasn't had a kid yet, and she's like 30, she's literally gonna any dude that gives her an offer, she's gonna take it. If he's decent enough, he'll be like, okay, I'll just deal with this guy for 10 years and then I'll divorce him 5-6 years later. So I can just this biological urge, I can settle that. And then on top of that, I don't look like a spinster while my friends are already settled down with kids. You know what I mean? So it's a comparison is also a part of it in terms of, the rest of their friends, they've settled down already. And if their friends are settled down already, then they're like, all right, I got to settle down too. So let's take a look at this video real quick.
I know I'm an independent woman. Okay, I get it. However, us independent women love being treated with so much softness because there's not enough of it in our life. Every aspect of my life, I have to be strong. I have to show up for my kids, my job. I have to support myself. I have to do everything with such a strong mentality that when a man comes in and allows you this softness to just simply exist in your soft feminine energy, it's such a gift. So when you show up, I can't wait to meet you and be soft. It's going to be such a radical change for me. I know I'm an independent woman. Okay, I get it. However, us independent women love being
I'm going to replay the video one more time.
Treated with so much softness because there's not enough of it in our life. Every aspect of my life, I have to be strong. I have to show up for my kids, my job. I have to support myself. I have to do everything with such a strong mentality that when a man comes in and allows you this softness to just simply exist in your soft feminine energy, it's such a gift. So when you show up, I can't wait to meet you and be soft. It's going to be such a radical change for me.
So apparently she is a single mom and she's tired of being an adult. So let's take a look at her page. Oh, I missed a whole lot of chats real quick. I missed a whole lot of chats. Shout out to Carlos X tuning in too. Oh, Reaper. Let me add Reaper on to this real quick. We're gonna go a little bit. Let's talk real quick. Reaper, you're on, bro.
Yeah, it was good, bro.
Hey man, 5150 in the chat.
All day, man.
We already know. Yesterday I went to the show in Hartford. I went to the show. So Corey Holcomb showed up. I brought my cousin with me, and I gave him fair warning. I'm telling you, he does not. Corey Holcomb does not give
a shit.
He was yo.
Can I tell you something to that? I've been to 3 Corey Holcomb shows, all at Caroline's, bro. Right? Yeah. And I laughed all 3 times. I laughed for different reasons. The first show I went to, bro, let me tell y'all something. For some reason, white women love to go to places where they're gonna get offended. There was a table of white women who I think they were tourists. I want to, because they don't look American. They look like maybe from Sweden or some of these Nordic countries, whatever, right? And I looked at their faces, right? And I said, why? They were so happy at first before Corey got on. And Corey had he had like his openers. He had the one bald-headed dude with the glasses that he's been on the show before, dark-skinned dude, and he had somebody.
Yeah.
When Corey came on, and I love this. That was my favorite one because he probably went over maybe 30 minutes extra just making the most inappropriate jokes where even it was so awkward where it was just guys were laughing, and you also saw some guys who wanted to laugh, but they were with their girls. And the girls just had that stern face. He just kept talking about abortions, kept talking about I'm just gonna be in the room with your mother for blah blah. I ain't know that, like shit like that. And I'm dying laughing, like drooling laughing, and you just hear from all the women there just silence. Now Corey, I'll say the next 2 shows he did more crowd work, and then all the black girls go yeah. Like the third one, even though that was the shortest one, the second one I brought my cousin. We laughed our asses off. Black Ron was there. He was funny as hell too. But yeah, Corey Holcomb, in terms of like a man's comedian, one of the best. Because I've seen it also to Bill Burr. And again,
Yeah.
white women, for some reason, they love to be places where they get insulted, or they get not insulted, they get offended. When I tell you, it was at Madison Square Garden when I saw Bill Burr. It was me, my boy, his girl, and another chick that he used to work with, who's cool as hell. And when I tell you, bro, Chris, Mike, when I tell you the amount of men, this how pussyfied men are. Because the tickets were like 100 and something. So it wasn't cheap. The amount of men I've seen get up and walk with their girlfriends out of MSG when he started going to Me Too jokes. Mind you, he talked about everything. He talked about the army. How why is that we have to celebrate everybody in the army when that guy who does the Air Force shit, with the two cones or whatever in his hand, like he didn't die for nobody. Like he joked on everybody, but when he went to the Me Too shit, when I tell you the amount of men, and I'm talking about, I'm in finance. We're seeing the big old, sales guys, finance guys, just came out of school, did football or soccer or no, rugby in college, walking out their girlfriends all big. I'm like, yo, son, you guys have to be the most pussyfied motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life.
Life. Facts.
That shit hurt my heart, bro. And then, just real quick, I know you got to move the show. My boy's
good,
girl,
bro.
we walk outside, and because he talked about Me Too, whatever. She's one of these girls who she thinks that she's like this crazy leftist, but she really isn't. She just wants to be down because she's not like a very social person. She's like an introvert.
Yeah.
So we go outside and she starts talking about when Bill Burr talks about the Me Too shit. And I'm just like, oh. And I think she's doing some purpose to egg me on because she knows I'm the type of person like, I don't get into arguments, but it's just like, if you're saying non-facts, if you're saying those woke fake shit in front of me, like, just stop. Just let's have fun. We could, talk about drink, whatever. Don't bring that shit. So she brings it up, and I'm like, yeah. And it came down to the study that woman did, where she said that the way that women are SA, she made up all this other different criteria that has nothing to do with SA. And I was like, well, yeah, that study that you're referring to is like faulty, blah, blah, blah. Like, normal voice, I wasn't issuing on her. She ends up crying. And my boy from college has to be like, oh, all right, I'll see you later, Bob. I'm like, bro, I didn't even say anything. We're literally just talking about what you brought up. And I'm not arguing. I'm just saying, that study had its faults and blah, blah, blah. My boy's like, oh, no, don't worry about it. And I'm like, mind you, they're married now with a kid. But I'm just like, dogs, when you go to these places, when you want to have your fun, men, don't bring women. I don't care about what woman says that she's down. They're not. They don't know how to create joy and happiness by themselves. So they have to suck it up from every place else. Trust me, do not bring them to a Corey Holcomb, a Bill Burr, none of those shows. Let them stay at home, let them do their own thing. Don't bring them.
Bring him to Cat Williams. Since they because he really doesn't go in on the women on that. So just bring him to that.
Yeah,
that'll be the safe option. Oh yeah, by the way, last night. So, but shout out most of the to be fair in Hartford, a lot of the women, even though if they didn't like the comedy, they stayed, right? So there was a older lady in the back, and Corey Holcomb, he was starting to go in on Cat a little bit, and he was talking about the Club Shay Shay shit, and there was an older lady. She's like, "No, not Cat," and he was just like, "I'm sad." He just kept going, and the lady, she was like, "No, not Cat, please, I'm telling you, not Cat." He goes, he just keeps going in. I'm sitting there. I was crying after that. I was like, Corey's not gonna stop.
Nah. You know what I like about Corey though?
Oh man,
he teaches a lesson that when you're a man, if you're unapologetic about who you truly are, whatever woman you're gonna come across, they're gonna have to respect it, man. You know how many guys out there complain about women? Is like, well, how did you get her? Like, the way you got is not who you truly are. You don't really do that. You don't really do this lovey. That's not truly you. And so when that shit wears off by maybe the first year, second year, and you can't hold that same facade anymore, bro, that's why your relationship is in trouble, because you came in with a false premise. So that's why I respect Corey Holcomb. Even if I disagree with shit he does, like the way especially the old 5150, the RMC days and shit, bro, man.
Oh yeah, those were very. I'll say this. I'll take it even a step further, because I used to disagree when he would be like, "Look, man, We gotta be out. He'll be like, oh, we gotta be honest. We don't be fucking. I never could just mess with one woman. It's impossible. And he always kind of would always lead with that. But the older I get, I understand why he says that. And it's literally exactly what you said. If you don't lead with who you are, and most men they don't they don't lead with who they are.
Nope.
This is why a lot of them end up running into the troubles that they get. So there's really nobody that can really go up to. Remember when they try to make Corey Holcomb look bad by saying he possibly could be sleeping with Darlene, and then literally the next day on the episode, and he was like, "Look, if I am, so
Right,
he just
right.
so people don't understand how powerful that is. People don't even understand. Like they could even you can't even hold that in the air against them. People don't understand how powerful that is if you just stand on who you are as a man. And like I said, Corey Holcomb has plenty of female followers. Plenty. I'm talking about a lot, way more than these cake ass comedians. Dude, it was security guards. When I went to the Hartford Funny Bone yesterday, it was security guards, bro. Literally, like, hey, man, it sounds like you guys really love this guy. He said, man, he was talking to me and my cousin. He's like, look, man, DL Hughley was here the other day. He was a bust. So Asian security guard, Asian security. So it's interesting. You're like, I'm telling you. So even when Corey Holcomb has said that Dave Chappelle be bombing,
I believe that.
now I don't know, but I was literally asking the security guard. He like, yeah, he was listing names. Some of these people that come through, they don't be killing it, bro.
Who else is saying?
He said DL Hughley, basically all the alerts that you get via your Gmail, because I signed up for the Hartford. I didn't sign up for the Hartford Funny Bone, but if you put your email on there, you get these names. And he was just saying that the last person that he remembered, DL Hughley. And he was saying, and he said a couple social media stars that I can't remember off the top of my head. But basically, he said this was the only one that, man, he said, this is the first time I really seen people really get out their seat. Now, at the Hartford Funny Bone, there's a lot of famous people that be coming through. You got Michael Blackson be coming through. You got a lot. You what's it? Jess Hilarious, the Country Waynes, these people, right?
Yep.
Now he said this was the first time. This is a Gen Z guy, Gen Z Asian security guard worker. Just he doesn't even know what's going on. He's just like, man, this is the first time I really seen people bump. Who's this guy in there? He said he didn't even know who Corey Holcomb was, bro. So
and that's the thing is that, bro, let's be honest. DL Hughley, he only was funny on the Kings of Comedy when he started doing crowd work. I watched that whole Kings of Comedy. The only real funny person was truly Bernie Mac. I don't care what no one says. I watched that and I'm like, this ain't a classic outside of Bernie Mac. Everybody else was like mid to like nothing. Steve Harvey, I don't even. Oh my gosh, that was terrible. Cedric Entertainer, I only liked because he was on the show. Like he was cool. Oh no, was he on the show? I don't even remember, but his set was memorable. When DL Hughley started, because he was bombing on his written material, they started doing crowd work. When he called that dude, "Oh, you look like MC such and such." That was the shit that, like, all right, now he's starting to cook that because he started doing crowd work. And the thing with DL Hughley, you're a Patrice O'Neal fan, right? So
yeah, huge.
Go back to when. This is why I hate these guys who they're fucking phonies. They take it for the money. That's why I got respect Corey to many regards, bro. Go back to it was a Patrice O'Neal episode where DL Hughley came on, and they were talking about politics, Obama, and Patrice O'Neal. This is why I love Patrice O'Neal to this day, man. I know, rest in peace. He's honest when he's wrong, or he's honest about his cognitive dissonance, which a lot of these guys aren't. Go back to that episode. DL Hughley was all, I'm not going to vote for somebody because he's black. I'm blah, blah, blah. I'm dignified, blah, blah, which a lot of blacks at the time did with Obama, which I respect, but now it's all different. Now you look at DL Hughley, especially with his radio show. Even when I watch the radio show, I see the clips. It's all oh, black this, we have to support black this, black. He's crying on ESPN about black issues. I'm like, hold on. I remember you and Opie and Anthony playing the other side of, oh, I'm not gonna let race and color dictate my voting choices and blah 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 blah. I'm like, these guys are fucking. I'm telling you, these guys, whenever they get married to politics, whatever, that's when they start to become corny. When you saw Dave Chappelle, when he did the whole, and I'm not a fan of Candace Owens. I think she's a grifter, but he was like, oh, her pussy smells. Oh, and I'm like, that's not even funny, Dave. You're better than this. But you're getting a paycheck from somebody to spew political whatever, right? And that's when you start to lose that edge. That's why, if you stay on the outside, bro, yes, you may never be super duper big, but Corey doesn't have to worry for the rest. He can go to any comedy club, and if he needs 1,000 for the night, 500, whatever they need, he's good for each show. Because the comedians understand, and he's the true bastion of like free speech, where it's unapologetic. And for all the people that say they get offended, like I said, they're not at books. They're not at book clubs at 12 a.m. at night. They're at these comedy shows. I'm telling you, the first time I see Corey Holcomb, in my head, I'm like, why would these girls be here? And by the way, they were actually all disgusted, but they didn't leave. They did not leave. They love that. They love anything that can, like Patrice O'Neal said, hate and love are the same energies. It's the same thing. Because you're eliciting something from somebody. It's just all about how you manipulate after. All these women want is somebody to go back and forth from them. Oh, yeah, well, I'm going to say this joking. Oh, that's disgusting. Man, bitch, sit your ass up. They love the attention. They love the energy, even if it's not positive. Again, they're not at book clubs. They're not at feminist meetings at 11 p.m. at night. They're not chilling with their feminist friends in the clubs or at the bars because they can't go to a club because that's too patriarchal. They're not at these places. They're where the degenerates are. So that's why I fuck with Corey Holcomb, bro, man. If he comes back to New York, I'm pretty sure he will. I'm going to see him again, bro. That dude, man, he's one of the funniest, realest motherfuckers I've seen his comedy shit. Compared to a lot of these unfunny motherfuckers.
And just for the people to know, for the kings of comedy, there was really, and Cat Williams, he highlighted this. And what you said, many people thought the same thing. There was only one king up there.
Mm-hmm.
It was Bernie Mac. Now, Steve Harvey was supposed to be the headliner, but he was bombing too much.
Bad,
really bad. A lot of people don't know this. So, and basically what ended up happening was they had to turn Steve Harvey into the opening act. So Steve Harvey, I had to tell my cousin this. So he had to become the opener, and it ended up really showing that really there was only one king up there, that was Bernie, and Cedric was probably the second best out of them, but he's not close to Bernie. So there was really one king up there. Really, there was really one, but they just ended up branding it the Kings of Comedy, even though Steve Harvey was supposed to be the star of the show. Just for some historical, just for historical context for the people that may not know. And also, guys, the RP space, right? I'm not gonna say it's been invaded by women, but it's just interesting where you make this space and you'll see women come through just to argue.
Yep.
just because they know they're gonna get the attention of it, just to argue, just to say that you're wrong. And you're just like, first of all, why you're here, but respectfully, you're just saying like why you're here, respectfully, but you're just like, out of all the things that they could be doing,
not even just on space, bro. Think about Jordan Peterson, who I have my qualms with, right? But he had some shit early on, right? Where there were men's rights groups that were talking about male deletion, male mental illness. They weren't talking about no putting down a woman, nothing. And you had feminists who were closing it down I'm telling you, women are energy vampires. They cannot create happiness by themselves. Have you ever seen a woman? Have you truly ever seen a woman happy? Like she's doing something on her own. She's just constantly doing it. She's in her own space. And it's not because she broke up with somebody or she's trying to heal or whatever. And I'm not talking about sex. They cannot create happiness on their own. Patrice O'Neal said it best. He said when a woman is happy, he said when a man is happy, everybody's happy, right? When a guy when you see, you know what makes a father happy? When he gets his children and everybody Christmas presents, and they're all running around in the living room playing with the Christmas presents, and the wife is showing off her diamond bracelet, and he's just sitting down on the couch with the newspaper and the coffee, just and he's looking at, he doesn't have to brag about it. He says, look at look at what I did, look at what I provided. Motherfuckers are happy for what I did, and he's good. Oh, you got me a fucking wrench or whatever, a fucking electric drill, whatever, because you want me to do over. I'm happy. You guys are happy. I'm good. But she's gonna say, yo, when a guy's happy, everybody's happy. When a woman is happy, somebody is unhappy. Somebody is fucked up. I literally just came back from a baby shower, met a chick, and we started talking this week, right? Literally, she's at a table with a whole bunch of girls that they all look like they're friends. The first thing she tells, one of the first things she tells me on the second time I call her, she's talking about how she's not friends with those girls. How they all have these beefs. I'm like, hold on. I just went to a baby shower. Me, my cousins I haven't seen in years. We're literally acting as it's almost like we just saw each other the other day, making dumb, stupid jokes. We're all Nigerians, so we're making dumb, stupid jokes. Uncles are there, drunk, big bellies. We all laughing, joking, jovial. Not one piece of remember that time about none of that shit. And on the flip side, you had those girls. I saw her table. Pretty women, and they didn't look happy. But I didn't know there was any beef. Come to find out, none of them like each other. That is the nature of women. They cannot create happiness by themselves, bro, unless it's poisonous and then it's short lived. I'm telling you, man.
That's why even the concept of male and when we talk about men and when I say men and women can't be friends, you'll have people still arguing me with this. And I would literally say the same thing you said, the term energy vampires. I love that term. That's the term I always use that. That's the perfect term to describe it.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about we'll get a little bit scientific here, right? Because this is in regards to men that try to argue me this. Because of course, women are going to argue pro this because it completely benefits them in terms of a man and a woman friendship. But let's talk about the men's side of it. Already, they've done the studies where I'm talking about in a relationship or in a marriage, they say that a man's testosterone, his testosterone drops significantly if they're in a long-term relationship or in a long-term marriage with a woman. It just drops. Now, let's take that logic here. Now, imagine a man that's been friends with a woman that's never even come close to smashing a woman for, you got girls talking about, oh, this guy's been my friend for 10 years, 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then people are really looking at the guy like, is he gay? But it's literally because imagine the testosterone drops significantly I'm talking about in a relationship where you're having sex with a woman sometimes, right? Now imagine you're just a friend with that woman and you're not even close for 8+ years, 9+ years. Of course the guy's he's gonna look gay to the commoners looking on. It's like, is he gay? And the woman will be like, no, he's my friend. And you're just like, huh. And he will look gay. I'm talking about he'll literally look gay. The man will look gay. But it's really scientific. It's really scientific.
We're not supposed to be. There's one chick. We have wars, but I remember this chick because she doesn't live in New York. She lives in Boston, but she travels, whatever. And I remember even she was like, I was like, yo, let's just be friends, blah blah. It's just too much drama with her, right? And I'm not definitely not doing no long distance shit where I'm having 3-hour arguments for no fucking reason with you. That's fucking stupid. I was like, let's just like, are you stupid? You think guys and girls can ever be friends? I'm like, you know what, yo, I appreciate you for saying that. You're right. My bad. So it just is what it is. When I see you, I see you. But it's like, yes, we can. Bro, I'm telling you, when women aren't dumb. They know when a guy wants them. They know when a guy wants to smash. They know when a guy's only being friends with them or going to the little feminist meetings because they just want to be down. They want to smash. And that guy doesn't have that monster in him to be like, yo, look, we either going to be friends or not. I mean, well, we either going to be smashing or not. I'm not doing this whole friendship bullshit, right? They know that. And these guys, a lot of men come from the old paradigm of mother and father, and you must treat the woman this way, and not say they should have be a mother father. That's not the way I should say it like that. Like husband and wife, and her happiness is my happiness, and a happy wife is happy life, and I'll do anything for her, and I'll set aside my happiness, and she can just shit on me and stomp all over me and tell me what to do. They come from that paradigm, so I've seen it in college. There's one Indian kid I knew, nice kid, one of the nicest kids I've ever met in my fucking life. One girl, Gabrielle, I ain't gonna say her last name. This girl, Gabrielle, cute chick, not hot, a cute chick. That's the chick that's like, if you're not gonna mess with me, I'm gonna move on. And this dude would be with her 24/7. He already had soft features pauses, like, because I think, no offense, a lot of Indian dudes don't like work out, like they don't have like strong masculine frames naturally, or for the most part. There's no disrespect. I do have friends, like a few friends who worked out with me, and like you see, like, all right, they brought
That's true though. That's true. That's true. We don't have
a
a
lot of
good
them don't work
frame.
out. That's not me showing them. Like my friends are from Pakistan, friends are India tell, yeah, we don't work out like that. But and when you look at this dude, bro, like you felt so he'll be at the library with her, he'll be at the study halls, he'll be at the food diners and all that shit with her. And I'm like, dogs. And he'll be, and what I'm telling you, this when Facebook was hot, he'd be taking like smiley pictures where he's like nestling his face to her face and looking at the camera. I'm like, dog, son, bro, she's not smashing. Meanwhile, she's smashing other dudes from UPitt, from fucking Duquesne, from other schools. I'm like, yo, my G, let it go. You trying to be friends and you trying to fake it like, come on, I've drank with you, bro. I hung out with you, bro. You're mentally a savage, bro. You talked about the same ignorant shit I do, bro. Then he'd be like, well, but you're tall. I'm like, bro, just being tall and being, I'm not trying to say I'm attractive like that, but I'm saying being tall and like, decent look like that. I still have to put work. I still gotta work out. I still have to have game. The worst thing is being a guy that girls find attractive, and when they meet you, you can't talk. They'd be like, what's wrong with you? Like, the fuck is wrong with this guy? So I'm like, I still gotta put a lot of work. Girls look at me like, oh, you don't like black girls. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What are you talking? I'm here at a black party. Why am I like? So I got to put a lot of work just to get some of these same girls. I'm like, bro, you could do the same shit too. It's not that hard. But you hang around this chick, bro. He would not listen to me, bro. She's married now. I don't know where. I mean, they're apart from each other. I'm like, bro, that shit you talking about. I could see that shit where you're hanging out with her. You're emoting like her. You're caring about certain things. Like you can't just be yourself and be in your own apartment. You're fucking in your underwear, just chilling, being a man. Bro, I think even listening to women makes you more feminine. It makes you lose testosterone because they ain't talking about shit. How many times do you talk about the nigga that you only meet at 12 a.m. at night? You talking about you want a relationship with this dude, but he only calls you on Saturdays at 12 a.m. to smash. And some guy's gonna sit there and he has to hold it back in and be like, because what he really wants to say is, bro, he's smutting you out. Are you dumb? You just like the dick, don't you? But he's scared. She's like, oh my gosh, how could you say you call me a whore? I would have been like, yeah, you being a whore. And I put money in it. The next few months, she might be like, she'll have a friend call me like, my friend said you're a dick. I'm like, but was I correct? And I bet you the friend be laughing like, yeah, but you don't have to say it like that. I'm like, so I was correct, right? She's a smut, right? She's a hoe, right? I'm telling you, bro, man, niggas need to wise up. And like you said, these women that be coming in here, now Pearly is the face of, and I'm not a red pill dude, but Pearly's a face of red pill. A girl who can't get a man, a girl who looks like that, a girl, period, is a face of red pill.
I remember doing a video on her. If I want you, do you know who Underground Uncut is?
Yeah, yeah.
Tyson. Yeah, so I remember when he broke down with Just Pearly me tooing her coach. Did you ever see that? So I just can't believe, because there was a lot of, I'm talking about, because she had like at one point Just Pearly had like a really large black male fan base. And I remember black men knew about this story, and I'm like, y'all still following her after that? Bro. I was like, oh, well, maybe it's just me. I can't do that.
And the fact that she could say that, and then it's like you're the same person saying that men like women because of their youth and youthfulness, but you literally Me Too'd a coach, all because he was now good. Well, I would say because he's just gonna coach his sister, but she's not even telling the whole story. The part of the story that makes no sense, right? You
Yeah.
left the guy at the bar. How did you end up at his gym later on? If you left him at the bar, if someone was if there was a woman who was a nasty, she smelled like shit, and she was trying to hit on me at the bar, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm out of here. I'm going home. I would never end up magically back at her place. She left gaps out the story because she was lying, which is the worst. And it's a person who's obsessed with black this, black that. Because remember, she came on a YouTube as a person who was reviewing rap videos and almost like making fun of them, like, oh my gosh, like I'm the white girl who doesn't. And wow, that's
Yeah.
so she was parodying. That's not rap is not black culture, but she was trying to parody what she deems as black culture. So she's always had that. She's a type that it was back in slavery days. She'd be fucking with the slave, and then once she got caught, she'll make sure that slave got killed, so he doesn't come out and say, "Yeah, well, boss, your wife has been screwing me behind the scenes. I don't want to smash her." She's that type.
Yeah.
Because her whole story, she Me Too the guy, and guys are still. Y'all the same guys who literally came to the red pill space, manosphere space, because you may have got Me Too, you may have gotten lied on, you may have been in a bad relationship, and I say you hate on women, but you understand that there's a toxic nature of this fake, RAP grape culture, which doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And that should exist, and you seriously sit behind it and support this woman because it's just a woman that supports your side or seemingly supports your side for money. Like, man, motherfuckers are lost, man. I feel bad for generations of men coming up, bro, because where's the guys coming? My generation failed, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. My generation fucked up and did a bad job because we were the guys back in the 90s with the whole R&B shit and talking about how like, kissing women in the assholes when they would,
Oh man.
treat us like
No,
shit. Like we fucked y'all up. So I'm gonna take some blame too, but I feel bad, man. This is some
I'll say this because you brought up something interesting because you said that you said your generation failed us, but I would just say it like this. I'll just say it like this. Bill Cosby's case, because I was just talking about this earlier before you came up. I believe black men in general, we failed Bill Cosby. And I'll say it this is why I believe this. Because a president was taking place. And what stuck out to me about the allegations, not necessarily just the allegations themselves, but who stuck up for Bill Cosby? You know who stuck up for him the most? It was mostly black women in terms of the celebrity space. It was more black women in the entertainment space that stuck up for Bill Cosby. And instead of the other black comedians, they saw Bill Cosby going what he was going through. And because they were mad that Bill Cosby called them out for cursing in their stand-up and whatnot, they saw the news on Bill Cosby and they was just stomping on his grave, not knowing that they were just using that case to set a precedent where now bitches can come out the woodworks from 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, 10 years ago. They didn't understand the importance of, look, we should be sticking up for this man. But it was Rudy Huxtable stuck up for him. His wife stood 10 toes down. Who's the really pretty woman on the Bill Cosby show? The Claire. I think.
Yeah, she. I love Claire Huxtable.
So they all. It was so, and mind you, these gonna be the same dudes. A lot of them that, and I'm not saying we don't have a straggle daggle problem, but it was mostly black women that came to Bill Cosby. Jill Scott came to his defense.
Damon Wayans came out and Damon Wayans, by the way, go see his comedy special. I think he only had one. He's one of the more underrated comedians that no one talks about, but he doesn't do stand-up like that anymore at all, really. But he had one that was funny as shit. And he's always been a funny comedic actor to me. He came out on a Breakfast Club and he said he didn't want to say it, but he was like the powers that be, because it's really Judd Apatow who led this. That's why he got Hannibal Buress to kind of keep saying that comedy club so it could catch on.
Yeah.
And it was really, and Damon Wayans kind of hinted at, we know that Hannibal Buress kind of got the push. And he said, I don't think he was ready for it. Because Hannibal Buress, they gave him a show on FX, I think it was, that flopped. After he was on the Eric Andre show. So, and that's what Damon Wayans was kind of hinting at. And and I agree with you, bro. This is why I get mad with black people. We get the battery in our backs from everybody else to go up against our own.
Yeah.
Because when you look at that case, only two people I know, Nicole News, she's on YouTube, a black lady, and then there's another dude named Drew News, Drew something new, or Drew News. You can look it up. He's on, and they cover this case because if you think about it, only one publication is a shitty look, let me say shitty, a small little publication. I think it's called YT News, something like that. They're the only people covering it day by day. Other major publications weren't, because if you look at that case, all the illegal shit that judge was doing, the dangerous precedent he set. For instance, having witnesses witnesses for other cases come on and talk about their cases, which is they're not even cases, but their allegations is illegal. It had nothing to do with the case. You cannot do that. Another thing too, they denied the witnesses that would have came out and spoken out against Constrin, her boyfriend, her roommate, her roommate said, yeah, she told me she was only in this shit to get money from Bill Cosby. That Bill Cosby was not doing none of that she was just having fun. He'll fly her out, give her gifts, all that shit. She never talked about, Bill doing none of that stuff. The other lady who came out and and she got exposed so badly because she said, oh yeah, Bill Cosby SA'd me. But then it was like, wait, yeah, but you visited him. You visited him several times after, got gifts, never complained about this shit before. And then they brought up her case during Constrin's trial. And I'm like, black people, because there's another show I was watching at the time, and always blackity black women. It was, oh yeah, that's good for him. There's only one dude who was like, y'all don't understand that this is setting a bad precedent. If you look at the case, it was so illegal. Like they had no evidence. That the original judge was like, there's no evidence here for me to truly prosecute this guy on whatever. Let's just bury the well, you kind of like you bury the files. I forget what it's called. I'm not getting terms not coming to my head right now, right? And so they just hit it, and then I'm like, why don't black people see this? And it's all because he told you to pull your pants up. Really, who gives a shit? Fuck what he. Okay, put like this. If y'all could do that, then y'all do shouldn't be praising or shouldn't be for George Floyd, right?
Yeah.
Because of what he did. George Floyd robbed an old woman. I think he beat up a pregnant lady as well too. So because of what he did before, the fact that he's a black man,
he pointed the gun at her belly.
Yeah, so he was a piece of shit, right? All right, because forget that he's black, and whether you believe he's Iowa, but just take this think of him being choked out. Let's just take that side of the story. You can't support him then because what he did before. That's black. Man, black people get me so mad with that Bill Cosby case, bro. And I'm like, bro, you literally had when they came out with the 50 women, Drew News actually broke it down to like 10 or 15 women that had possibly legitimate. You had the lady who was married to Lou Ferrigno say that Cosby SA'd me once because he said hi to me. We bumped into each other by mistake, and his knee touched my knee. I swear my life, go look at the story. Lou Ferrigno's wife. That was literally the story. You had the lady who got exposed, some girl who came out and said, oh, I was at the Playboy Mansion during this day, blah, blah, blah. And everybody's, oh, this is disgusting, blah, blah. But it came out, yeah, Cosby couldn't have been there because he had a comedy show that night in a whole nother state. Then that case it faded away. I'm like, people don't pick this shit up that this is a smear job to destroy this guy for whatever reason. I don't know. But why is that people can't see this shit? And y'all going with this Me Too shit? That you told me all these girls, bro. Chris, I know I'm going too long, bro. I apologize. I used to be out in the clubs in New York, Meatpacking District in New York, right, with my cousin. When I tell you the amount of women, especially at One Oak, and anybody knows One Oak in the city, they know what I'm talking about. The amount of women that go there and they have Molly, they have cocaine, they have every drug known to man. If you're stupid enough to kiss one of them in the mouth, like my cousin one time was making out with one chick and he was like, never again. Came home because we used to live together as roommates, me, him, and our uncle. And he was like, yo, bro, never again, son. She got me with Molly. I didn't even know, bro. He had the tab on her tongue, or under her tongue, excuse me. Got me with the Molly shit. And I'm like, yo, bro, son, when I was there, bro, when I went to the bathroom, literally everybody snoring. I'm telling you, bro. So when I'm telling you these girls are out here, bro, they know what they're doing. When I tell you that Rita Ora This is a true story. Got denied by J.R. Smith. That one oak. J.R. Smith was going in the truck to go back to wherever he's going back to. And Rita Ora was outside. Thought she was going to go in the truck and was outside the truck. Because J.R. was like, I'm good. When Jeezy came to the club, One Oak, when I tell you, when you ever seen like the tide, and you see like how it's the water than the sand. Imagine the water being the women, and it just goes right back, and you see all the sand. I'm telling you, the club literally everybody just, and this is when Jeezy wasn't even hot anymore. These women know what they're doing. They're not dumb. Now I'm not talking about some doing the street harassing these women, kidnapping, doing that crazy shit. But all these little cases of I was at this guy's, I went to this celebrity's apartment at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and he did this stuff to me. And it's like, wait, hold on. You went to his apartment. You're the one that's drugged, or y'all both drugged up. Now I have to believe that you're just because you're this damsel in distress. I'm telling you, they out there, they be vulturing these dudes. I'm bro, you know what? You see it. That whole Me Too shit, bro, man, that shit broke my heart when they did to Bill Cosby, bro. And I'm not even like the biggest Bill Cosby fan, but it's like, and they use a black man at that too, bro. You talking about in the 60s and 70s when everybody was popping pills, where Hugh Hefner had a harem of women who had their own allegations on this dude, and he didn't get buried. He's a pioneer, but Bill Cosby. I'm sorry, bro. My bad. I had to vent, man. I apologize, bro.
Yeah, no, I feel you. But anybody that's listening on the panel, this is a guy, 50. I don't know what we could call it, the 5150 chat room goons. That's where I come from, guys. This is before I'm talking about before me even being the RP space, before even me listening to Undead Chronic, Coach Greg Adams, Hammerhand, Tom Likas. I was listening to the 5150 show, and most of the 5150 fans, they got that same thinking mindset. Same with Corey Holcomb, Zoe Williams. I wish I could show you their podcast when they would have these shows together on the Zoe What show. But these are the conversations that we have. All right.
Whoa.
Critically, in terms of critical thinking. You know what I mean? These are the conversations that we're supposed to have. But the problem is, outside of YouTube, we can't talk like this.
Nope.
To the normies, we can't. I can't even be like, bro. I was on a podcast with my cousin. This was before I started doing this. On a podcast with my cousin, he had two straggle-daggle bitches. One was in an open relationship. One he ended up eventually having sex with as well. But all I said on the show, was, look, I wouldn't want if I had a wife, I would definitely not want my wife to be in a male strip club.
Nope.
Getting, serviced. That's all I said. And they started screaming at me so much so. I'm talking about they started going in at me. Now, I thought it was a joke at first. Then my cousin's manager at the time was literally like, he had to stop the show. So, all right, guys, you guys got to relax. And I was just like, wait, they're serious? And this was I think this was around 2021. So people don't understand just asking the question or just being like, look, I don't want my woman doing this, or just saying, look, why is, or just simply just saying, look, the WNBA players should be lucky that they have a league because they've been losing money every single year.
Yep.
Any other business would be
closed.
Just saying that. I'm talking about when I said that on my cousin's podcast. I'm like, bro, the business, just business wise, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work business wise. I'm like, if you had, I was literally trying to, if you have a nail salon and you had a ninja in there, and he was bringing down business, even though you give him a spot in the nail salon, and he's hampering business where you're losing money investing in that one dude with the one chair in your nail salon, you're gonna get rid. And I'd be like, well, yeah, that's business. But for some reason, unfortunately, because most men, it's not about bullying women. It's just about asking questions.
Yep.
You gotta be able to ask questions.
You know what?
I gotta be.
Chris, you can't do that. Like, like women. All I'm saying, like women are delicate butterflies, and they do nothing wrong. You can't ask questions.
You know what it is? You know why? Because we do that shit. We actually listen to them. Yo, bro, one of the greatest things my uncle ever told me was like, you listen to women? I was like, wait, what? He's like, why would you listen to women? Just look at what they do. Look at what they do. If you want to, bro, look at what they do. Don't listen. When they sit up there and say, oh, don't talk about that shit, you give it to them anyway. Bro, like this. You know who the this I know women, again, back to energy vampire shit, the WNBA shit, right? You know what Adam Silver said? He said, you know who watches the WNBA the most? Middle-aged men.
Yeah.
Women don't even watch the WNBA. You know who's making college NBA probably hot? All the men hyping up Caitlin Clark and all these Reese, blah blah. Now again, the women who are in college who play the sport, I'm telling you, no woman is out there talking about the college, the female college basketball scene right now, which is actually pretty cool right now. It's men talking about it. And now women are going to start to insert themselves. Oh, yeah, I always watched it. Oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Because men are talking about it. Again, women do not know how to make their own shit hot. And like you said, this is why women are they're highest in debt. They don't understand money. You can't just keep spending money. This is how dumb the WNBA was. They won the shit on Luka because one time Luka tweeted out something positive on like the performance of one of the WNBA stars, right? And I'm pretty sure the NBA tells these guys, hey man, can you guys at least go to the top stars? Can you guys go to at least one WNBA game every few months? Show your face, help the league out, right? Because the WNBA basically well, it funds it, right?
Yeah.
And this dumb fucking idiot from the WNBA shat on Luka Doncic. Like, oh, you don't know. I'm like, are you fucking stupid? Your league is dying. Your championship celebrations, they don't even have to close out the street. They just tell cars, hold up for 5 minutes. Just give us 5 minutes. They had if you go back to like a few years ago, they literally had the girls sitting in the back of a minivan.
Oh, yeah.
They had girls in the back for a championship. Bro, let me tell you something. If the New York Knicks, the Mets, the Jets win a championship in New York, bro, the city's going to be shut down, bro. Now, I know people here are Yankee fans, but Yankee fans have won more recently. If the New York Mets, Jets, or Knicks win a championship, the city, or at least Manhattan, is being shut down. When we're in the playoffs, dudes were hanging off freaking street lights just because we beat the bum-ass Cleveland Cavaliers. People were hanging on street lights. Cops had to clear out the roads. Traffic was being backed up. And you had these dumbass women, they don't have foresight to see, okay, you know what? Let me politic with Luka Doncic and say, hey, Luka, hey, thank you for coming to the game. Can I come to one of your games? Maybe I sit at a court side. You talk to Mark Cuban or whoever new owners are. Hey, can I come court side and blah blah, show my face, create more visibility, helps out the game? They would have been like, hell yeah, of course, do that shit. But these women to sit up here and they're so entitled to think that you're not even generating profit. Forget revenues. You're not generating profit. And so that means you're not generating cash. You're hemorrhaging cash. And you think you should be paid as much as who? They were shitting on actual NBA players. And I'm like, dogs.
And they're the only ones supporting.
And they're thank you. Thank you. They literally had to remove. They've literally had to move away from certain. They literally had games where it had to be relocated because Chris Brown was doing a concert. Such and such was doing a concert there. I'm not talking about Beyonce or Bruno Mars. I'm talking about A-, B+ celebrities are doing concerts there. Omarion's doing. I know it wasn't Omar, but I forget which. It was. I'm not sure. It was I forget which team it was. It wasn't the New York Liberty. I don't even think they play in MSG anymore because they can't generate enough money to play there, or can't generate enough fans to play there. And instead of politicking with the men and saying, hey, look, being humble about it and say, you know what, yo, bro, like, we need some help. We need some visibility. They want to demonize men. We don't have to watch this shit. Like, I remember it was on the LeBron James show, Lisa Leslie and Draymond. And Lisa Leslie was trying to go into his diatribe of, maybe if the men give some of their salary, and Draymond, whoa,
no. Hell no.
No, we've done all we could. he said in so many nice words, like you guys have to do more of the marketing and pushing it yourselves. Because how many women go on the street right now, and they've done it before, experiments. They ask a woman, hey, do you know about this woman? Do you know not Caitlin Clark, but any of the people, Ionescu, do you know such and such? They'd be like, oh no, all right, but do you know LeBron James? And the guy would ask them, do you think that women should be paid the same? And they're like, yeah, women should be paid the same, blah, blah, blah. Do you know who Sabrina Ionescu is? No. Do you know who LeBron James is? Yep. Okay. And you want to be paid how much? This is their thinking. So when women talk, it's not me being misogynist or sexist, right? Unless we talk about sex, I don't listen to you. Like, I don't get wisdom from you. You're not wise. You don't have foresight. You guys complain about the trans shit when guys were telling you about this shit decades ago. Like, yo, you're opening Pandora's box. Not to say you don't accept them as people, but don't allow them to claim that they're you. Oh, you're just a this, you're just a that. Okay. Connecticut, what's happening? You got these dudes in dreads beating out little girls. Now the little girls are crying and talking about, oh, and I don't blame it on the little girls. It's not their fault. It's their parents. Yeah. But that's the thinking.
I hope it continues so they can learn. I hope it can continue so they can learn.
By the way, guys, just to let you know, the guy that's talking right now, he's not part of the RP space.
No.
He's 5150 chat group. 51. This is where I come from, guys. All right. Just letting you know. So literally all the stuff that I've been saying, all the stuff that, remember when I was talking about Riley Gaines and the conservative ninjas was trying to jump me and shit.
Yes.
and I was saying, don't I said don't support Riley Gaines. We've given you the warnings. We've given you the warnings. So this is same energy. Same energy. And also let me before I let you guys go, not me sign up. I mean, let you guys talk. I wanted to talk about the story remember with Iguodala, when he gave praise to one of the WNBA women, and he said, I think he said, good. Oh man, number 9 is nice. He said he said her number. He said her number. He said number 9 is nice. And then she replies back, you need to put respect on my name and blah, blah, blah. And Iguodala was like, wow, that was rude. Okay.
Yeah, yes.
But the self-sabotage.
Chris,
you know? What's up,
Chris? Yo, that Riley Gaines is that swimmer, right?
Yes. That's Riley Gaines, she's the blonde girl that now is she's trying to quote unquote save women's sports. And I'm like, well, women kind of destroyed it anyways, right, by you self-sabotaging. Now, most of the people in those comment sections when we were talking about Riley Gaines, it was like, man, we got to do something, and the men saying, oh, we got to do something. Now, there was one I would say this, there was one Asian woman in the comment section. She's a liberal, and she was like, well, we brought it upon ourselves. And I gave her a message. I was like, you know what, thank you for taking your L like a man on this instance. Like I can respect somebody that'd be like, you know what, I brought this upon myself.
Yes,
I can respect that. I might actually be inclined to help you if you take your L. That's true, how I work. You know what I mean? Yeah. But is everything you basically have conservative, what we got, these conservative feminists, I like to call them, right? The conservative feminists basically still blaming men for quote unquote allowing men to join women's sports, whereas really the voting decisions of women is why we are at the place that we are right now. I'll let you guys continue.
No, perfectly put. But again, this is why I don't have conversations like these with women. You don't take accountability on your shit. So you can't be a soldier. If you can get out of every bad decision you made with, well, what about such and such? Then why am I talking to you? I gotta go through this life. If I make a mistake, if I fuck up, I gotta eat that up. My cousins, my friends gotta eat that up if they make mistakes, and we all do. We never make excuses. And I'm not saying I'm not saying never, but we always like, nah, so that shit was on me. Nah, I fucked up. That shit got fucked up. I fucked up, bro. That was on me. Man, that's some dumb shit, bro. I knew she wasn't about shit. These women, bro, like I can't talk to them about this shit. And another thing too, I seen from this fake ass conservative class of men, like the Michael Knowles and shit. This fucking goober said, that he wouldn't get a
Paternity.
paternity test because I believe and trust my. Let me tell you about some of these conservative motherfuckers. These phony ass. Because they a lot of these guys they strong arm pimp their women behind the scenes. When
Facts.
I'm talking about they beat their women. When I'm talking about they talk. I've seen it, bro. When they talk down on their women. When they treat their women like shit. And they want to sit up here and talk about, oh yeah, conservative and a lord. These dudes are small dick dudes, pause, who get mad when their girls around black guys. That's why I love you had that episode the other day.
Yes.
Maybe when you talked about when a white girl, why some of these guys discard their white women. Because once they mess with a black dude, it's like you've tainted us, blah, blah. Because I'm telling you, bro, I've
Especially
messed with girls from other groups and they always not me bragging. I swear I'm not bragging. And they'll be like, yeah, he's too small. Like, you're bad about I swear my life. I'm not sitting up here talking about King Kong Dong, whatever. But they always shit. I'm telling you, bro, they when you're in the bars with them, or I don't like going to clubs. If I go to like a day party, some shit, I might see some chicks, some white chicks, whatever, at Freehold or some shit. Right?
Bars too. That happens at bars too.
Bars too. But I don't go to clubs like that.
Yeah.
Not at all, really, at all. Right. But they always, when they see me, they always escalate it to something sexual. I'm telling you. And it's because they're not getting that home. I'm not saying all white guys are small. I'm not saying that, pause. Right. But I'm telling you, bro, they get mad at that. So a lot of these guys, like white boy charm, it's all these mind tricks to basically be like, well, let me do everything else so I don't have to compete with another dude sexually. Let me manipulate your mind. Let me make it seem like you ain't shit, that you're uglier than what you are, that you're really not worth it. And because you don't want to leave this circle of conservative men, because your father, blah, 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 and racist as well, too. Let me imprison your mind. And also, if you gal, I'm imprison your body. I'm gonna hurt you. So when I heard Michael No say that shit, I'm like, yo, bro, why are these guys having these conversations? And he was with Pearl the other day. I'm like, why? Why in the world are these people representing? And look, I'm not even a RP guy, but the RP space should be reserved for guys who are really about that shit, not Michael Knowles. And come on, dogs, what are we doing here?
A lot of the I've been trying to tell, especially the young men, I've been really trying to push this. I'm like, most of those conservatives, they think they're RP, but they're not. They're like, they really aren't. And most of the things that they're trying to do, their self-righteousness, their virtue signaling, is really another dating strategy by them to try to get more women on their side. And
yeah.
that's and you know who put me onto this strategy? Uh a woman in this that's been following me for. He was talking about how the trads, a lot of the things that the traditional conservatives do, the traditional conservative women, the traditional conservative men, it's most of it is just dating strategy, right? So when you see the trad women now, the Riley Gaines of the world, these people that they've grouped up to like now say, man, we need to save women's sports, and these dudes are evil and blah blah blah. What they're trying to do is trying to make themselves look like one of the quote unquote good girls, so they can
Yeah.
get.
Yeah.
So
The good ones.
you got the what's that girl's name the girl that looks like Ben Shapiro? What's her name? I'm blanking on
Oh,
the name right
Big
now.
Cooper. Big Cooper.
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley
Cooper.
Cooper. Yeah, I done videos on her. So we saw her strategy. Now she's engaged, quote unquote. We don't know who the man is. It's like she's soft launching the man, but this is what they're trying to do, is just so they can put themselves in a better dating strategy where they can date a better pool of quote unquote trad men. And then conversely, with the trad men, them trying to quote unquote save women's sports, they're just trying to put themselves like, you see, we saved you guys.
But we
It's
didn't
kind of
lie.
what it's one of those weird things that that they try to do. So the trad, what the trads do, I most of the time I don't buy it. The only traditional person, the only traditional conservative that I've really seen that's I can respect, he doesn't have his own YouTube channel, but it's this guy called Aaron off of the Star Report show that used to he used to call in on the show. I don't know. He's probably a bum in real life, but he might be the only real traditional conservative that I've heard that's kind of congruent with his beliefs. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
unfortunately, a lot of Caucasian conservatives, a lot of white conservatives, a lot of them they're very slow They're very behind on the times. They have no idea what's going on. I gave you the example of
Yeah.
the white girl that got stomped out by those ninjas in that what I don't know what city it was. Like she got, remember, it was like a big gorilla looking bitch on the ground, like, and she bashed that girl's head in.
Oh
And
shit.
when I first saw the video, I was like, oh Lord, I hope I'm like, they probably fighting over a ninja, right? That was the first thing I thought. And when the white girl was in the hospital, it was a lot of the white nationalists, the white conservative dudes trying to shine, man, we have to terminate these people. They're hurting us and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, whoa, 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 guys. I think she's dating a ninja. I hope you guys have that same energy when you find out she's probably dating a black dude. So then they end up finding out that that white girl, she's dating a street ninja, right?
Uh-huh.
The guy was a street ninja. They found out. They
Yeah.
all rescinded their support.
Of
They wanted
course.
it. They wanted to they wanted the funds that she got on the GoFundMe. They wanted their money back. And I was like,
Wow.
so y'all, I'm like, y'all didn't even care that she literally that girl was bashing this girl head in on the concrete. I'm like, she's probably dead in a couple of weeks. I don't know. But
Oh, I know you're talking about now. Wow.
yeah. So you know, like they wanted, they was like, oh, they said she paid her toll, right? That's what they were trying to say. And I'm like, so y'all didn't even really care about the girl getting her head bashed in.
Of
And
course
I'm like,
not.
what did you? And I'm like, first of all, what did you guys expect? This is, it was like a place in Missouri. I forgot what city it was, but I'm like, I'm pretty sure that specific city or whatever school she went, she was probably the only white girl there
Mhm.
at the spot.
Chris,
So
Chris,
so
Chris, Chris,
it is what it is. Oh, what's
Chris.
up, V? Yep.
Imagine if people like me saw that video without the context, you know?
Yeah. No, yeah, we talked about this yesterday, but like we have to do a stream where we could go through the dynamics of almost everything in terms of the conservatives, the liberals, black people, white people, straight girls, dyke bitches. We can go through all of that. All of that. But I gotta make that in I gotta put that in a different stream. But you see, V, like without the context, you know, things can get very, very twisted. You know what I mean? And oh, by the way, what what ninjas need to know is our image, what we put out there, our music or the entertainment, what we put out there is so influential in terms
Yep.
of worldwide. Like I remember
Yeah.
V was saying the other day, he was like, guys, he's like, the stuff that he was basically saying the stuff that black people do in America is just, it's too, he said it's too influential. That's what he was saying.
Yep.
It's too influential. So ninjas always, we have to be conscious on what we do and what we put out there. You know what I mean? So that's also very important. But that I gotta put that on a different stream. That's gotta be on a different stream. Shout out to Rocky. He said Chris is going hard. But my dude Reaper, I don't know if you've been listening to Reaper, but the stuff that Reaper's been talking about, this is the kind of thinking, this is the kind of mindset I have just in life in general before this space even accepted me, before I even was looking for this space. You know, guys, when you talking about guys like Corey Holcomb, Patrice O'Neal, Bill Burr, to a lesser extent, Chris Rock, right? These guys really paved the way for this kind of free thinking space that we have, that we have right now. So,
It's just like it's amazing. Like I said, the energy shit where it's like men will literally create these spaces that don't offend anybody. Is not asking for input from anyone else, not bugging anybody, and women always find a way to insert themselves into it. I grew
Yeah.
up during the Oprah era, Ricky Lake, Jenny Jones. Every other episode had some degenerate. They talked about black men. They'll have some degenerate black guy up there to be a fool, act like an idiot, and talk about, yeah, I sleep with 30 women. And I ain't gonna ever be faithful to this girl. She always gonna be my bitch. Dumb shit. And Oprah, oh, black man. And the same bitch who did a Steven Spielberg movie that shat on black men in the South, even other older black people, like this wasn't the norm in the South with Danny Glover and shit. Mind you, I can never make a movie on the Holocaust, but that's a topic for another day. But fucking Spielberg can make a movie on black people like that. Ain't that some shit? But anyway,
Yeah.
I've lived through I lived through that shit. I never heard black women coming out and say, you know what, Oprah's a bitch. Oprah's a piece of shit for doing that to black men. So Ricky Lake is a bitch, even though Ricky Lake is white. She's a bitch for talking about for depicting black men like that. Shahrazad Ali is a black, she's like a black speaker author who was talking about all the ways in which women need to like be better, learn how to be a compliment to the man, blah blah blah. And she got killed by other black women.
Yeah.
And yet now all of a sudden, why men have these spaces? Y'all had spaces since TV was in color, talking about black men or men, period. Men this, men that. As soon as men literally just want to have a space to talk about, yo, man, I just went through this divorce. I lost everything, bro. I'm going through it. I might delete myself. I can't see my kid. As soon as guys are saying, and they have their qualms like, yo, bro, this shit was fucked up. And it's not just, women are fuck all women, but it's like, yo, bro, I went through this shit, man. I ain't going through marriage again. I ain't doing this shit again. Now it's bad and poisonous. And one thing that you said before earlier too, I want to comment on. You spoke about the court system. You said that they don't want to see men, blah blah blah, or they want to see every courthouse or every family court. They get federal funding with every child support case. I can look it up. There's federal funding for every child support case. It's all about money. It ain't about giving a shit about these kids. They don't give two shits. My mom worked in the ACS. Overworked her to the bone. They don't give two flying fucks about the kids. And you know what you can do in New York now? You can have trans hormones put into you. If your kid who's coming out and saying, look, I want to have that shit, the state will pay for it in New York. Other than that, they don't give a fuck about these kids. Yeah. I've seen it. My mom did placement on that shit, bro. I used to go to projects. Kids fucking in a house of 8. Dirty mattress, roaches. Mom's a crackhead. And they still, and either put them in a shitty group home, they know it's shitty, or they get lucky to have adoption. Or they'll go right back to the mom. Say if it's a case between a mom and a father, mom could be a piece of shit, bitch, ain't doing shit with her life. If they don't like the father in any capacity, even if the father's not doing anything bad, it's going right back to the mother.
Yeah. Even if she's even if she's a drug addict or an abuser, like hurt her kids badly to make them go to a hospital, like the judge will choose the mother either way. It doesn't matter what you say.
She has to be bad, like really, really bad, for them to take them away. That's how you hear about all these stories where it'll be a mom, the kid gets deleted by like the crazy boyfriend who just came out of prison, and the mom allowed the kid
or by the mom.
I had one of the most gruesome, disgusting stories. I ain't gonna say in all detail. I remember my mom told me about 2 kids where the mother, because she didn't want to be alone, she had a boyfriend the boyfriend was SAing the kid so badly they had to pump the kid's stomach of that stuff. I swear on my life. My mom told me this shit when I was like 9 or 10, maybe. She told about this story, bro. And my mom's not one of these people who lies about this shit. She was crying over this shit.
Yeah. This stuff and well, how about this? Let's make this correlation right here, right? Would you say most adult porn stars or OnlyFans, right? Let's put them all in the same group. Sex workers, let's put them all in the same group. Would you say most of them joined that specific line of work, and most of them were probably touched when they were a kid, correct?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So, right, let's make this correlation. You have the statistics. The statistics are there where they show women that have basically anybody with stepfathers are more likely to, like, it's like 10 times more likely to commit abuse, right? Mm-hmm. It's like something crazy like that than the biological father, right? Yep. So now you have a generation of kids growing up seeing with their moms with multiple boyfriends, not even just stepfather, just multiple boyfriends in general. Not most of them, a lot of them not even seeing their bio. They don't even know who their bio father is. Nope. A lot of them multiple stepfathers. And what comes with the multiple stepfathers? It comes with their family, and you got people unrelated to them. All these babysitters, all these babysitters, and now people can't even make the correlation. Damn, why we got all these girls talking about at 14 they want to be OnlyFans stars, or at 15 they want to join the adult industry. People can, for some reason, I don't know why people don't want to make that correlation, but it makes sense. It makes sense. If you ask any porn star, they'll tell or any school slut that you know. Even the school sluts will tell you, oh yeah, when I was a kid, so and so did this, my uncle did this, or my a lot of them, they're always talking about their stepfather did something to them. Damn near all of them. But knowing this reality, women will still break up their families and still have other men around their kids like it's nothing. Like it's nothing.
Yeah,
Like, and this is where I'm like, do
especially
you really care about kids? This is where I really have to ask them. They don't.
No.
I don't think women really care about their kids.
They don't.
Yeah.
When the kid is no longer cute,
and if you
they
look
are
at it,
done with it, bro. You know
women,
what's crazy,
like
bro?
women,
This sounds weird. I don't want this to come off as creepy, right? Every nephew, niece, kids are bro. My one of my best friends, Brandon. He has two daughters. One's extremely like 2 or something like that. Maybe 2. And then the nephew, all these they always like being around me, right? Paul, not to sound weird, right? And I don't have a kid or something, so I'm not gonna sit up here and say it's easy. But when I literally have friends who would say, being a mother is so hard. I'm like, I don't see that shit. Even my boy Brandon, like, he never talks to me about his kids are a burden. He never talks about how stressful his kids are, bro. I every time I see him, I just saw him last week for my cousin's baby shower. Bro was in spirits, laughing, we joking, having a good time. This dude is never stressed out, and I'm telling you, bro. I as a person where I'm seeing his kids, they like being around me and shit. My nieces love me. I'm not saying it's easy. It could be stressful, but I never see it as a burden. But every time these women, they talk about, oh, it's such a job, such a painful job. I'm like, I see some of y'all women, bro. Y'all kids don't like y'all. Because you're just not a nice person. You're not a cool person to be around. That's why a lot of times, I know it might sound stereotypical. A father will come home, the kids go, daddy, the dad will go play with them, will teach them, will instruct them, but also know how to have fun. But the mothers that, don't move. I've seen on the train, bro, where a little kid is just looking outside, not looking outside, they're looking at the window. And the mom, black mom, I get so fucking disgusted. Cursing at the kid. The kid can't be no older than 1.5. The mother be like, I told you to shut your fucking ass down. I'm like, yo, bro, why would you talk to your kid like that? The kid is just, your kid is literally just standing up, or not even standing up, just sitting on the window with the face towards the window, just wants to look at what's happening outside. It's on a train. Now you took the kid's idea of, you kill that early spirit of even trying to explore shit early on. Just to have that spirit of them, of just having that imagination. Dude, as a kid, sometimes I would literally sit in my window and I'll play like make-believe in my head with some of the fucking rooftops I'll see. I'll think of like Ryu and Ken fighting on top of a rooftop. Just because I'm bored, I just want to have my imagination wants to run wild. Imagine my mom just came home and said, why you shut the fucking window? Said, sit your fucking ass down. Just think about that shit. So when they talk about these nurturers, I'm sorry. Once kids are out of that Q stage, it's not just black women. It's with a lot of women. They want to instruct, they just do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. And then you wonder why the kids don't have as much fun with you. And let's be honest, after the age of 12, little boys aren't listening to their mothers anymore. They need that male attention. That's why I laugh when these women say, oh, come take your son now, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, now you need me to take care of him, right? Now you want me to be there for him, right? But he's supposed to be with me regardless, because he's not listening to it anyway. That's why he's out with the gangs if there's no father at home. That's why he's out on the streets looking for that male energy. That's why in certain tribes in Africa, they literally have the kids, the boys after the age of 12 just go off with the group of men and so-called learn how to become a man. Because boys ain't listen to their mothers after a certain age, bro. These women don't have much, and now these women can't cook. They're not like Michael Irvin said. One thing I love, he said,
no more recipes.
That shit was amazing, right though. How many women you meet,
Liability.
Chris, where the girl can't cook?
Can't cook. How?
A lot, man. It's
It's
sad.
In
dead.
2020,
The
in
family is dead, and
2024,
these women are helping to kill it. But
fine.
also the guys too, man. Motherfuckers, especially white dudes, like you said, bro. How many white guys I know where they married a chick where it's like, yo, bro, you married her during the infatuation phase where she's being fake nice, where she'd do, hey, how you guys doing? I'm like, yo, like, bro, son, you know she's faking it just so she could be down and she can win your what's the name. As soon as she has the ring, she signs that wedding certificate.
That's it. That's it.
You were fucked. And I've seen it where the
Yeah,
attitude
that's a
changed
wrap.
up. Yo, son, I have stories for days, but I gotta chill. I know I'm ranting some, but this shit, bro, it's sad, man. That baby shit, bro. Oh my gosh. Like my boy, he's a trick. Like I took the one I just told you about that the girl went to the Billboard concert. They have a kid now, right? They had a wedding. They had like a wedding ceremony in New York, and they had a wedding ceremony in Hong Kong. And I didn't go to one in Hong Kong. I went to one in New York. When I tell you, when the girl said, one of her friends asked, "Oh, so what are you gonna name the baby?" And the girl said, "Well, we're not gonna name her anything right away because we want her to not be like held down by sex." Blah blah blah. Mind you, this is a traditional Asian kid from Hong Kong. Parents are filthy rich. They don't play that transgender or. And I looked at his face, and when I tell you his face looked sunken, this like I went to school with in college, right? When I tell you he was a pretty boy Asian dude that was smashing girls like it was nothing. Like it was nothing. Like it was water. It was almost comical. This dude he plays piano, plays a bass guitar, multi-talented dude, pretty boy motherfucker. I know I joke about with him to this day. One time he had 3 girls in his bedroom playing the piano, and they were all sitting on the bed just watching him. And I'm like, he's about to smash all 3. He smashed one of them, but I'm like, that's the type of dude he is. And for me to see him have some girl talk about, we're not going to do that because, by the way, they ended up naming her Marley anyway. But seeing that shit, bro, that broke my heart. Like, yo, son, just like you said, the testosterone shit dies out. All because he loves her for whatever reason. I'm not trying to shit on her, but it's like, dudes be allowing these girls to just step on them, bro. Why?
Well, this is. Let me show you something real quick. Let me show you this.
I'm ranting. I apologize, guys. But.
Oh no, this is related to what you're saying, and I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you a white girl talking, right? And I'm not trying to shit on white girls right here, but white girls are very pretty from like ages 18 through 23. So let me show you an example of a white girl that the average white dude would find pretty. And I'm just gonna let her talk, and then I'm gonna show you a contrast real quick.
I sat my dad down and told him just like, hey, I think I might want to walk myself down the aisle just so I can have that moment to myself. And also just, this is how I feel about this topic. And he was like, okay. I thought he might be like a little bit upset. Like, I mean, of course that's understandable since it's so traditional.
You raise your daughter thinking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, no, that's fine. And I was like, okay.
He's
like,
guy.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, my dad's
His
a nice guy.
only stipulation was he wanted to hug me at the end of the aisle. So he got to hug me at the end of the aisle, and I hugged my
Why am I
mom
like
too.
about to cry?
So
I know, it was so
cute.
cute. He's the best. I sat my dad down and
So these are some cute white girls, though, to the average white guy, right? I'm talking about girls that look like that. The average white guy, I'm talking about, will do anything for.
Yeah.
But let's contrast this, because what they don't understand in 2, 3, or 4, or 5 years, they're gonna turn into this. Hold on, because I found her doppelganger. I found her doppelganger. So right here.
What opinion will you defend like this? A whole sea of people have one opinion.
Your divorce is a blessing.
So right here, post wall. This is what you're gonna be dealing with.
Yep.
This is what you're gonna be. So I want people to see this face, right? This is what you're gonna be dealing with in like literally 2 or 3 years after the wedding. This is what you're gonna be dealing with, like this. Okay. So, and she's still gonna be saying that same nonsense that you overlooked. That same nonsense. She's gonna be saying, I'm talking about the same exact nonsense. So if I ask the average white guy, okay, what did that last white girl, what did she just say? He probably won't even remember because he's just still stuck on the bitch.
Just horny.
Right? But she's gonna be saying it's going to hit soon. And by the time they hit, by the time they hit, and I'll say this because I've lived in the suburbs. Reaper, he lived in the suburbs. There's probably it's not many older white guys that are still with their Caucasian wives that said that they like their wives. Not
Yep.
many. Not many. And it's not necessarily because they're not doing their job. It's just it's a hassle. People don't understand like older white dudes, they wake up early. Like they wake up early. I'm talking about 4 a.m. They
Yep.
wake up. And you know why they do that? Because
So
they know
avoid the bullshit. You know,
exactly.
the wife's sleeping.
I see that shit.
Yo, they'll be at the store. They'd be so happy. It'll
Yup.
be like 7 a.m., 8 a.m. And then, but as soon as it hits about what 8 a.m. or 9 a.m., they're like, God damn it, the warden's about to wake up. They're like, oh
Yep.
no, the sun's coming up. So by the time 9 a.m. hits, did you take out the yes, honey, I took out the trash. Did you walk the dog? Yes, honey. People don't understand. You know what I mean? But this is what I always try to prepare a lot of particularly Caucasian men, because as black men, a lot of us can afford to escape the matrix, meaning we could afford to be bachelors, right? Without because most of the time they're looking at black dudes, they don't even expect us to even have a family like that just off GP. So you know what I mean? So you can literally just what black men could take to their advantage. They could literally just walk around free if they so choose. They can walk around free. A lot of Caucasian men, particularly Caucasian conservative men, they're really pushing for this marriage is because they really have to get married. A lot of them, they have no choice. They have to find somebody. That's why I always tell them, why don't you if you have to, just import a bitch from Asia or something instead of dealing with the average broad here. Like now, she's still gonna divorce you anyways, but at least you can get what you want for at least 5 years, 5 to 10 years. You can get something out of it. You know what I mean?
And that's why a lot of the so-called red pill, a lot of those things were with black men. The reason why people get mad is now it's white men are like, wait, hold on. Like you said, why am I marrying? I just saw my uncle, I just saw my father, I just saw them divorce. I saw them being an unhappy marriage and only staying there just to support us but why would he do that? Like, why would I put myself through that? Women are seeing that cash cow that guys just have to get married. And when men started questioning, wait, why do I have to get married? Oh, because of God. We don't. Well, God, what? We haven't been to church in the last 5 years because that's what being a man. Well, then I don't want to be that type of man because it's stressful. Why would I sit up here, have an unhappy marriage, just so I could give up half, and then have a strained relationship probably or possibly with my kids? I'm telling you, living in Wilton, Connecticut for high school, bro, I've seen that shit. One family, I remember there's one family that if you look at them, Chris, you thought they were the perfect marriage. They had three boys, because we have host families through my program. It's called A Better Chance, right? So you have these host families that you hang out with every Sunday, and then once a month you hang out with them with the whole weekend, and they can do like things for you outside of the so-called relationship, take you places and blah blah whatever. It's just help us ingratiate ourselves with people in the community. And when I tell you this one family, I don't want to mention names, I want to get in trouble, even though I don't think the person's listening. When I tell you that, bro, if you look at them picturesque fucking family, dog, the mom was a short lady with blue eyes, and they always smiling in pictures. Literally, maybe like 10, let me say like 10 years ago. This is after I graduated, sometime after I graduated. Come to find out, the father's like he's done with it. He has a younger girl that he's with now. He divorced the wife. The wife is all depressed now because the kid that was there, like the person in our program who's with their family, I still talk to him from time to time. He's like, yo, bro, she's going through it right now, blah, blah. And I was like, so why'd they break up? He was just tired of it. He just didn't want to do it anymore. And I'm like, yo, bro, son, that these white girls, I'm telling you, bro, everybody falls in love with. Like one thing I caught from Corey Holcomb, even though it's funny, I always pay attention to a girl's feet, bro. If a girl does not take care of her feet, if you see that crust on the back of the foot, that means that, like, I'm telling you, bro, you might go through. She doesn't even gussy herself up like maybe she puts some makeup and stuff, but she don't really take care of herself like that. So I'm like, you know what? She's probably gonna get wrinkles late 20s. I can see, and is gonna fall down. Like black girls, Asian girls stay young until they're like 70, 60 something, and just randomly turn into like ancient looking people. But they stay young
Yeah.
for a while. Black people, good skin for the most part. And again, I'm not saying that makes them marriageable or whatever. I'm just saying like white girls, a lot of these guys, oh, the face, blah blah. And I'm telling you, they be marrying a lot of white girls, no bodies, no real personality. And once that face goes, and you talking about a girl who can't cook, she can't give head, she don't want to give head at least, she don't want to do none of that shit, bro. Then you got these divorces, or you got what's that dude that pushed off his wife into the water? Not laughing at that, but the dude tried to lie and say his wife got lost, and he like literally pushed into the water on a ship, on a boat they were on. Casey Peterson, something like that. So I agree with you, bro. Like you said, that girl that men are blah blah. I'm pretty sure I put money on it that whatever marriage she was in, she made it a living hell. Girls be
Yeah.
doing shit to their husbands just because they can't do it.
Yeah.
I've seen a relationship where a girl will tell a guy, "Can you get me that?" He literally just sat down and told us, "Can you get me this? Can you give me that, please?" And I'm looking at this dude, I'm like, "Yo, bro, this is a dude that we used to be in the bars, and he literally has a beer in one hand, and he's carrying another chick in another hand, like on some real savage shit, just on fun shit. Consent. I'm not talking about crazy non-consent, just having fun. And you've literally taken down your cape so you could be with this miserable. Why?
Hmm.
Why would you do that to yourself? Because your parents are telling you. Your parents not in your life. When you're going through a divorce, when you think about deletion because you're depressed, they're not going to be there. They're not in your lives. You know what parents do when y'all go through divorces? Oh, that I'm so sorry, honey. Anything
You're gonna
you
have
want
to
to come
man
over and
up.
eat something? They don't have no solutions for you. They're not going to give you half to cover that you have to give up in a divorce. So for all the men out there, man, I'm telling you, don't fall for the. If you don't want to get married, if you want to get married, get married. If you don't want to get married, don't let anybody pressure you into doing that shit, bro.
Yeah.
These women ain't shit. I got a girl who's talking to me right now, even though I know her for years. Just divorced from husband, got 2 kids. She's bugging me the last few weeks. Oh, when are we gonna hang out? When are we gonna chill? I'm like, I'm busy. You got a family, like, bro. You just she's like, oh, I'm just finding myself, and because her husband cheated on her. I really felt down about myself and blah blah blah. I'm like, all right, that's cool, but you can't make it seem like you're trying to pressure me to take you out and wine and dine you. And I'm like, dog, that's bro. One, I'm busy. Two, I'm not gonna do that. Like, I didn't call her used up and all that shit. But it's like, come on, like, don't try to play me. Like, oh, nah, I'm gonna be the cleanup guy. Nah, dude, you got 2 kids. You're a mother. You need to worry about them going to school and reading them fucking the ABCs and math and shit. Like, you in the dating game might be dead, at least for a little bit. Like, don't look at me as the rebound guy. Fuck all that shit.
Part of the before I moved to the 50 Cent story, which is only going to take 10 minutes because I didn't even want to do the story. But but one of the things that my track coach told me when I was in high school, he said the realest shit, and I might be giving too much information because you guys, but he said, look at your mom right now. Look at your mother. He said, the woman that you choose, she's going to turn into that. You see how you just look at your mom and you're just like, yeah, like, he said, that's what your wife is going to turn into. So if you're going to marry somebody, you better marry somebody that you actually like as a person.
Yes.
So that's one of the realest things he told. That's one of the realest things he told me because most people they'll marry within their race, their the skin tone, whatever it is. They just marry like that, and then that transition from from Kaylee to Karen, that happens, and then now they're like, damn, I don't even know what to do with that. So that's what happens.
Remember Patrice O'Neal said on Open Anthony. That guy was a philosopher, bro. He told this girl one time, he's like, yo, why do you like me? She said, oh, because it's Vonda Carl. He's like, oh, because you're funny, you're cute, you're smart, you're blah blah blah. He's like, okay, cool. He said, so like, why should I like you? Because Patrice O'Neal, I'm funny, I'm smart, I'm cool. It's like women don't do anything to be likable. It's like men are literally out there chasing these women. and they don't do nothing for you. You're courting them for. I'm not saying he said not to court them, but it's like you're courting them and like they do nothing. He's like, yo, when was the last time you been with your boys and said, you know what, damn son, I wish Christina was here with us, man. She's funny as shit. So y'all men are going to relationships where they don't even like the woman. They're lying. They're doing ooby gooby gabby shit. And once that shit plays out, they're divorcing. They don't even like the woman that they're with. They can't stand to be around them. I've seen niggas that we hung out, bro. Especially once the girl that their girl comes around, they change their whole face. Everything changes up. I'm like, huh? So wait, hold up. You're a dude that talks about this and that, and that's your style of humor. I've seen you bawling, laughing, drooling, laughing at that type of shit. I've seen you be happy. We'll be hanging around to 3, 4 a.m. in the morning, just chilling, talking about nothing, and you can't. And now you're with your girl, son. You have that face of like, yeah, everything's good, everything's cool, man. Yo, it's gonna get worse, bro. Because some of these kids still getting married on the premise, like you said, they don't even like the people they're with, and with how more emotive this new generation is, and how I don't say extreme, but just there's gonna be a crazy paradigm shift. Where I think the rates are. I know they're dropping now, but I think the marriage rate is gonna drop. Like the whole institution of marriage may be changed permanently in people's heads, where they just like that's an optional thing. Like it's just yeah, that's cool. That was up yesterday. No one's really getting married like that anymore. It's not maybe not happening in my lifetime, but yeah, it's gonna be a crazy paradigm shift, especially how the courts are going and treating in court.
Right. We're going to end off with this story. It's only going to take about 10, 15 minutes only because, like I said, I didn't want to cover this story, but I got to be objective on my platform. So you have Daphne Joy. This was the girl that was covered in Diddy's court documents. She was exposed as a sex worker by Lil Rodney. And once that happened, 50 Cent immediately filed for full custody of his son. And once 50 Cent made that move, that chess move, she went for the ultimate excuse. And we all know what that ultimate excuse is, either abuse or grape. And she decided to use both. All right. So right here in her story, she said, "You are no longer my oppressor." Oh, sorry, right here. She said, "Let's put the real focus on your true evil actions of graping me and physically abusing me." She added, "You are no longer my oppressor, and my God will handle you from this point on." She's probably talking about witchcraft. "You have permanently damaged the last hope I have for you as a father to preserve our family with these last and final false claims made against me. You have broken our hearts for the last and final time." Now, let me see. In a statement to the Post, 50's representative said the disturbing allegations in the sworn pleadings recently filed in a court case related to Daphne Joy, the mother of my 12-year-old child, has required me to take all necessary legal actions to protect my son, sire. So not only is 50 Cent going to file for full custody, I'm pretty sure right after that he's going to start countersuing, start filing for defamation and all that stuff. So right here, 50 Cent's representative also says, "The most recent false and baseless accusations by Daphne Joy are clearly in response to my decision to seek sole custody of my son. My son's sire is my main priority, and keeping him in a safe environment is my only focus at this time." And let me just add this. I will advise all men, if you're not going to file for full custody, just wash your hands and just pay the child support and dip. That would be my solution. And I know it's the Tommy Sotomayor type solution, but I think I would never want to be in a position where I gotta ask permission to see my son or my daughter, right? If you're gonna put me in a position where you're putting a case on me, right, and you're trying to siphon money, try to make light of my profession and say that I can't be there for the kids because of my profession, but still want money from my profession. And on top of that, I gotta ask you to see my own kids. No, you know what? Here's your child support. Since this is how much it costs, here, goodbye to the kids. I can meet up with the kids whenever they feel like it. They can just leave you if they have answers or questions. Here, I'll be like, look, this is what happened, and I won't even lie to them. But that would be my solution. If you're not gonna go do the full war, I'm not for that, that joint custody shit, because she's still gonna be terrorizing you and those kids. So I say file for full custody. If you can't do that, just pay the child support and just say F you and those kids. That would be my I guess my advice to most men. Now, it's hardcore. I thought Tommy Sotomayor at that time was very hardcore when he said it, and trust me, I have my problems with Tommy. But in this day and age, when you're seeing these guys, you're seeing what happened to 50 Cent son.
Yeah.
Like his earlier son. You're seeing what's happening with the dancer guy, where the daughter's talking about that he wasn't there, but he literally had to make a video and say, yeah, I was there and I was paying the child support. But what happened? Yeah, I forgot what his name is, but the bald white guy, right? But that's the story of most kids, when you're talking about this so-called co-parenting, where the mom is talking crazy about the dad behind the dad's back, while the dad only gets to have the weekends with the kid. So all that full custody or no deal for me. You know what I mean? Let's continue the article. He said, so then Joy says she denied the allegations of being a sex worker for Combs. Of course she's going like I said, I literally saw a video with where they came out with the DNA results, and they showed the mother, look, this guy is not the father. And she was like, I don't care about the results, that they're fake. I'm like, and the guy's like, this is literal DNA science evidence. He's not the father. And she's like, nope, I don't care. She's just she's just going to continue to be a terrorist in this guy's life, and nobody's gonna step in. But that's so that, of course, they're always gonna deny. We saw what happened with Kirk Franklin's mom when they showed her, look, the person that you said was his father was not his father. She still denied it. Yeah.
Oh shit! I don't know.
Oh, I can show you a video right after this. I'm gonna show you a video right after this.
Wow.
Now, so right here, so yeah, so this is the story so far. You know what I mean? So they're gonna go into battle, and also know this: when it comes to family court is not regular family, not a regular court system. So any allegation that the woman lobbies in family court, she doesn't need evidence for it. So this is why she's coming out with this now, so she can bring this up in family court. It might be able to hold. I doubt it. I doubt it would hold, because 50 Cent's gonna hire a real good, like he's gonna hire like a real lawyer.
Oh yeah, top of the top.
So I'm pretty sure 50 Cent will gain full custody of his son. That was a good chess move by him. But let me bring up Kirk Franklin. Let me bring him up, because I didn't even really want to do this specific story, because I didn't want to disrespect 50 Cent with this. Just with this story is just so disrespectful because right now in 2024, women use this consent thing, retroactive consent, blah blah blah. They use it like how a teenager uses Madden sliders when they're losing. This is how they use consent. So whenever they feel like they didn't get the better end of the deal, which women always think that they're getting taken advantage of, so once she feels that way, then she's going to use that as a chess move, to use grape, just the accusation of grape as a chess move. That's crazy. But let me find the Kirk Franklin mom DNA thing.
That's hopefully I've never heard of this.
Because I'm gonna find the actual. Let me see. Pink book. Let me see. I don't know if they're gonna bring up the actual react. I just want to show you the reaction. The reaction was hilarious, and it's just like, you're just still going to deny, even though it's clear, like it's clear as day. Like like Kirk Franklin has the results of the evidence. Let me see. I don't know if it's right here.
Kirk was expecting an apology. He expected Deborah to acknowledge the truth. And once again, she refused to accept the results. She said
Fair use, fair use, fair use.
the test was wrong. Then had the nerve to ask if her denial would put a wedge between them. And Kirk said yes. Kirk said, if you can't give me this, no hug, no word of encouragement, no.
Oh yeah, so she couldn't. Oh yeah, Pink Book lesson. She couldn't put the video because of copyright. I don't know if they can. I don't
That
know if
is
they have the video.
disgusting.
But yeah, like they literally showed, and you know what? It might actually mess up with my live stream. But
You know, don't show.
yeah, so but I'll just tell you this: what they showed the DNA results to Kirk Franklin's mom, and she was still denying it. And even after then once even the Kirk's aunt was literally next to Kirk's mom. It's like the boy needs to know the truth, and she started crying. And then she goes, is this going to put a wedge between us? So that's just her. She still didn't apologize. She still didn't take that L. And when she said, is this going to put a wedge between us? She was really saying, are you going to financially cut me off? That's basically what she was that she was trying to say. Oh, are you financially going to cut me off? So yeah, that's sad.
Disgusting.
Yep.
And then Kirk had like a porn addiction and all that other crazy shit. Like,
yeah. Kirk had a crazy life growing up. You know what I mean? But a lot of a lot of people's problems, kids' problems, and when they talk about what their mother is doing or what happened to their mom, somebody snoring.
Yeah, someone snoring.
Oh shoot, is that Pyro? Are you snoring? I don't know. It's not. V got his mic off. V got his mic off. But let me. I'm a mute this real quick. But oh no, this we have this guy Angel. He'll sometimes come on my panels, but he's real older. He's like 58 years old. So I remember I went on way too long on my stream. I went 1 hour over, and he fell asleep during the thing. So I gotta be wary of that though. But let me see if I can find the other video I was talking about, where it was a show where the DNA results came in, and she was like, "Nope, they're wrong." Let me,
yo, that is wild, son.
It's just something I've been seeing recently. It's just something I've really been seeing. Like they'll show the DNA results, and they're just like, they're wrong,
So
and you're just like,
sorry. Wait, hold up. You have no accountability. They're allergic. Just to say, I'm sorry. I fucked up.
You know what? This is unrelated, but I did a video on this a while ago, and Pyro has seen me react to this video. This was last year. I did a video on this.
He then said that he wanted the DNA test. You know that's your kid. I will never give you a DNA test. That's not going to happen. Because I know, of course not.
But if he's asking for it,
I will not go. I did my research. I will never ever give him a DNA test. You will need to take me to court. He then said that he wanted the DNA test.
Wow.
You know that's your kid. I will never give you a DNA test. That's not going to happen. Because I know, of course not.
But if he's asking for it,
I will not go. I did my research. I will never ever give him a DNA test. You will need to take me to court. He then said that he wanted the DNA test.
I was trying to tell people last year, like, you're gonna have 304s denying, even I'm talking about DNA tests. And you know, I said on my platform here, there's 3 things that women hate. That's average men, women that are younger than them, and paternity tests. Those are the 3 things that women hate. And when it comes to this paternity test thing, the DNA testing thing, I tell people they're never going to make it mandatory.
Nope.
They're never going to make it mandatory. And I always say, I'm going to use France as an example. The country of France, testing for the paternity of your kids is illegal in France.
What?
And yep. And when they had asked, I think the people in charge of that, they said, like, look, this would literally destabilize everything. That was basically their excuse. And I was just like, I'm like, are you serious? I was like, nah, every kid that I have, I'm getting a paternity test. But for some reason, most women take it like, oh, you think I'm cheating. But I've heard plenty of women say that, look, I I don't care if they had mandatory paternity tests. There's like some women that I know, they say they should have mandatory paternity tests. And when I hear their reasoning, it just shows that most women are covering up for the fact that they be cheating a lot.
Yep.
They cheat, like they cheat. I'm talking about a lot. And for the people in France to say, "Oh, I can't we can't do this because of it would destabilize our shit." I'm like, "Damn. That means I'm not gonna I ain't moving to no France." This is the video I'm talking about right here. Hopefully this works. Because I saw this on Facebook and I was laughing so hard.
No one in his family that's happened anything. We get these results. We send them out.
Just tell him
this
you wanted
is
to
not...
meet me in person. That's
That didn't have
it.
nothing to do
You want
with
a hug?
it.
I give you a
Hell
hug.
to the no. I
give you
wouldn't
a hug.
touch
We
you,
can take
bro.
a
I
picture.
wouldn't even touch you. No, thank you.
So why is it that you're unable to accept these results?
No,
outside of... So you're telling me that after this, you're still going to be contacted?
I'm still going to reach out for another one, most definitely.
So
And
she's basically telling me she's not going to leave me alone.
I'm not, because I know for a fact you're my son's daddy, so I'm not going for that. This right here is not the father. No, I know for a fact he is.
But he's not.
Because that's the only one that
But he's not.
But that's okay. That's
But
all right.
he's not.
All right.
That's the thing I need you to hear. He's not.
Okay.
I understand that you've been telling yourself this narrative and you were hoping this is the truth, but this is not. He's not your child's father.
So people don't understand. This is crazy. This is, and but people will just laugh at this, but she's literally going to terrorize this man for the rest of his life.
Yep.
When you look at what happened to the actor Morris Chestnut, this bitch that he was with 10, 15 plus years ago is still telling that boy that Morris Chestnut is the father of this kid. And it's like 15 plus years later. And he's like, look, we did the DNA test that year. I'm not the kid's father, but she's still going around saying Morris Chestnut is a deadbeat and he's not the father of the kid. Now, you would think that she'd be arrested, but no, they just let girls just go through and just ruin everybody's life without it being unchecked. And now, if a normie is coming across the situation, they don't know who Morris Chestnut is, and most people are just going to go on the woman's word. They're just going to be like, yo, you're a deadbeat. And I mean, he's literally going to be like, I'm not even the kid's father. You know what I mean? So it's a bit it's scary times. It's a bit scary times that we have on,
very scary.
On that, you know. Anyways, let's check out some of these comments because I've missed a lot. Let me see. I love to hear her. She said, that's insane. How many tests will it take? It doesn't. It's almost like have you heard of I don't know if you heard of this because when women talk about I be going therapist shopping. Have you ever heard of that?
Nah.
So it'll be specific. Yeah.
Is it basically trying to find a therapist who basically just validate their bullshit?
Exactly. See, it didn't even take you long. You know so yeah, it's you that's a term that I just learned, therapist shopping. And it's like a white girl. I don't know if I can find her, but she was talking about, oh yeah, she's like the tips to therapist shopping. Let me see.
You know, like, oh well, just because
right
she got
here. Finding a therapist. Yeah, right here. She said finding a therapist is a lot like dating. What? This is what she says right here. Finding a therapist is a lot like dating. What do you mean? Shouldn't you just find? So now we take that logic. You got these couples, right? They go to couples therapy. And basically the therapist, if the therapist doesn't side with the woman, she's going to try to find another one.
Yep. I can see that.
And so forth and so on. And I've been saying that when women are now telling men, oh, you need therapy, you need healing, it's another way. It's almost another way. It's a modern way of saying you need to find Jesus. You know, it's another way of saying that. It's the modern day. You need you need Jesus. Now it's like you need therapy. That's the new thing, you know, that women use to shame men that don't obey them. So let's look at this.
finding a therapist is a lot like dating. I'd like to think of myself as an equal opportunity employer because, like in love life, I don't got to type. If you're like me, you possess an intrinsic curiosity to build on your knowledge of the world through the perspective of others. Personally, I find it more interesting the more drastically different one is for myself. I've had black, white, and brown therapists, young and old, all women. However, I do have a knack for spicing things up. So when I had an opportunity to get a white Orthodox Jewish male therapist, naturally I jumped at it. Recently,
That nigga had to be gay. Orthodox white Jewish. That dude was gay. And first of all, he saw a mark. He's like, all right, I'm gonna make some money off this bitch. So like, and also the therapists now, I believe they're the modern day pimps.
Yes,
in my opinion. So that's another thing. These people are, when we talk about predators, you got in the white, particularly in the white communities, you got these therapists. I'm talking about female and male, the Caucasian female and male therapists, and then in the black communities, you got the preachers, you got the so-called pro-blacks, right? The brother polites of the world, these guys, the young pharaohs, Umar Johnson, you know what I mean? These people, these are, when we want to talk about predators, those are the people that I would consider predators.
I've joined BetterHelp. Scrolling through the vast selection of therapists, I opted for the most incompatible one I could find. She's a senior woman from the Caribbean. Her bio states she delivers Christian faith-based counseling.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, so this was an ad.
What better way to learn about yourself than peering through an unfamiliar lens? Okay, so let's get to the tea. What was learned from my therapy whole phase? How to do stand-up in front of a paid one-person audience. Just kidding, not really. The overall takeaway from a United Nation of therapists is to give yourself a goddamn break. Set boundaries and trust your intuition. As your delusional bestie, I'll leave you with this final takeaway. Pop yo shit, because you really out here existing. And the last time life got hard, you handled it. Yeah, you really did that. Have the audacity to be unapologetically proud of yourself. Go out there and get slutty, because finding a therapist is a lot.
She's just a loser. That's all she is. She's a loser. She can't speak to. She said, "I'm a learn the world through the eyes of others by going through a therapist." No, you just go out and you make friends with people. That's the type of girl. She goes to a bar and opens up a book to read with loud music playing, so she could draw attention to herself. As the person who is reading something deep in a bar that's literally blasting 50 Cent, and the bartender, there might be a bartender she finds attractive, but she wants to be that mysterious one that draws it. She's a fucking loser. She can't speak to people. She has no social skills. That's why she's in the house 24/7. And I love dogs, don't get me wrong, but she basically has relationships with her animals because they can't say anything back to her. And they have to go out for walks, and they depend on her. She's a loser. That's what she is.
And we'll say, let's say, because I'm let me see if I can end this at 1 a.m. But if we have time, oh man, have you ever heard? You might have never heard of this though. But since you 5150, I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna give this a pass. Have you ever heard? Because people like to talk. People like to kick on the incels and whatnot, and I find that a bit reprehensible, only because they're like the lowest of the low, and people just kicking down on them. But I learned something from the incels. Have you ever heard of the dog pill?
The dog pill? No, what's a dog pill?
So don't search it up on your Google, but they've done is there's people out there that have done the research where there are a lot of women, especially in today's age, that they're finding out that are having relations with their dogs. Now, because since we're black, so we've heard of like white girls doing that via our Muslim barbers talking about stuff like this, right? But and we'll just hear about it, you'll be like, oh man, that's crazy. But you just think that's just a one off. But there are men that have these jobs where they're taking DNA samples from girls, whether they have to come in for testing or something happened, and they got to take some samples from their private area, and they're finding DNA of canines with these things when they're taking these DNA samples from these ladies. So they're saying like there's people in these jobs that do and they're finding this, and people don't want to say anything, but I'm talking about the incels. They went through the science of they literally choose which kind of dogs that they get because there's certain dogs that are bigger than others, if you know what I'm saying. And they're just they went through it, and I was shocked. But I think I needed to see it the same way I needed to see, how like I compared the research of the dog pill to almost to, when we talk about the small hats, and how a lot of those small hats, they had to get certain surgeries when they were a kid because they grew up with a tail, or they grew up with things on their head. Like, these are the same kind of thing. I don't even like talking about stuff like that, but I think I think this conversation must be had, because they're catching more and more women being caught, like they're catching them with their dogs, if you know what I'm saying. They're catching them.
I can definitely see that, bro. In where I live, and no offense, there's a lot of white people, like liberal white people. I've seen it where girls have cried because someone had a cute dog at a coffee shop and they wanted to pet it. It was disturbing. Like, why are you
Yeah.
crying? Just pet the dog. When they call, I never call a dog my brother or sister, because I would never neuter my brother. I would never cut off their, you know. So
Yeah.
I could definitely see that, bro. The way that
Yeah.
some of these people treat animals, it's very, very disturbing.
But I compare it to when I started finding out about the small hats, if you know what I'm saying. Like, so I would even say that, like, I wouldn't even say that if it didn't have meaning. But when I was like, nah, I don't even want to, because the incels, they got like the height pill, they got the you know what I'm saying, they got all types of stuff that they talk about. But once I heard about the dog pill, I was like, the dog pill, I was like, I'm like, let me just I just like whatever.
Shit,
And what I found out, I was like, you know what? So now I got to look at certain girl. If now I have to, because now that I have this information now, and now that you have more men talking about this, I will say this: if you're meeting a woman that's Gen Z or even millennial, and she's single and her life is not together, and she has a dog or some kind of or even cats or whatever, but if she has a dog and her life is not together and she's single, you might have to avoid that girl. Like, on some, you might have to have some, you might have to stay away from that girl, only because of what I recently found out. I'm like, oh man, this is crazy. This is like worse than like when I remember, like when my one of the older barbers that I used to have, he was Muslim. He was talking about, do you remember that case? I don't know if it happened in Connecticut. Remember when that chimpanzee ripped that woman?
Yeah, they gave her the chimpanzee like Zoloft or something like that. They ripped off the friend's face.
Yeah. And but what people don't want to talk about is they found out that
she was smashing
the woman and the chimpanzee were more than, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
the reaction that he had was like a mating protection type reaction.
Whoa.
Where like, you know what I mean? They did like the research. I was like, what? I didn't see that shit in the news. He was like, yeah, brother, this is why you got to stay away from the white women. But he was.
I thought because they gave it Zoloft, or they gave it some human psychotropic.
They did more. They dived in, but they swept it under the rug. They swept it on. I don't want to cover it because it's nasty.
So all right, I'm gonna check it out myself. So I got it because I thought that was because they dumbasses gave it up. Maybe they gave it that crap. Maybe it was the press because.
Wait, hold on. Hopefully, I think it's either that story or the one where the husband got the face ripped off. I forgot which one, but I think it was the one where the woman got her face ripped off. If I'm not mistaken.
Because there's her friend the friend got the face ripped off.
The friend got the face ripped off. So I think it's either that one or the other. But they found out that in the chimpanzee, they was doing more than, but they swept the story under the rug, meaning like they didn't even talk about the story
Of
like
course not.
anymore after a certain time. So yeah, it's
And
brutal.
chimps are very, don't fuck them over, because remember there was a dude, I think he was like a researcher, and it was a story of like he got like one chimp a birthday cake or something like that, and it was 3 chimps, and the other 2 chimps are mad, like, because with chimps is like it's all about equality. Like if you give him one, you got to give us all. Like we all kind of like a family, whatever. And the other 2 chimps killed the dude, or delete the dude, excuse me. So I'm about to research this shit up, bro. I could see that 2 doofy ass white chicks or white women, excuse me, who can't get men otherwise, would mess with a chimp. Chimps are, you don't fuck with chimps; they will fucking kill you.
It's all right. We're gonna have some last words. I'm gonna have V back in. Any last words from you, V, about the topics of at hand?
I'm weird out, bro.
he heard he thought he was done for the night. Then I went into this. I don't look, man. If you want, I don't know if it's I don't think you should like really research it, because I'd be having a lot of alone time, so I'll just be like, I don't mind doing research on the things that I'm very uncomfortable about, but yeah, it's a real thing. Like I'm talking about these people, there's dudes, they're having their Reddits, and they're telling dudes like, yo, we're doing these DNA things, and they're finding a lot of women. So I'm talking about they're basically telling us now, and they're not lying.
I think it's called bestiality or something like that.
Yeah, of course. But they're just saying now that don't be surprised if you come across a woman and she probably messed with a dog at one point. People have those jokes, hide the peanut butter and all this stuff, but now it's a real thing. Now it's really a serious, thing. And shout out. I gotta give the incels this shout out to y'all. I would have never known about that. Like I would have never known it was like they'll like select certain breeds. You know what I mean for this stuff. So it's
Is that why they went into big dogs that they typically can't handle?
Sorry, say that again.
Is that why they like getting those big dogs that they typically can't handle?
Yeah, they started going. Yeah, they even went through the sciences of that, and you're just like, oh man, because now they even went through the certain breeds. I don't remember the breeds specifically, because like I'm not like I don't know about like dog breeds. I'm not like knowledgeable on that, but they literally went through like the breeds that they specifically get so they can get this stuff done. And yeah, so it's real. It's a real thing. So if you're coming across, especially if you're coming across a Caucasian woman and she has a dog and she's single and her life, and specifically her life is not together, and then on top of that, I remember hearing a girl on a podcast. She literally said, "Oh, I have the video. I have the video saved. I got the video. I think my video's still there. It's a saved video I had. It's a saved video I have from a while back. Pyro was there on the live stream when I showed it. Oh man, I don't know if it's because it was a girl making a joke in front of 2 British black girls, and when she said what she said, those girls were literally looking at this bitch like, the fuck did you just say? It was about a dog's tongue. Let me see. I gotta find that because their face
it's that one, bro. I saw it a bit upside.
You saw it. Because
I mean, like you scroll down already, it's up there.
Did I go past the dog video with the girls?
Yep.
Okay, so let me see. Because it's nearby. Because I remember
yeah, there. I think it's that one.
The one to the left?
No, the other side. The other
side. Yeah, thank you. I can't believe you remembered that, bro. Thank you, bro. So yeah, this is it. This is exactly it.
oh, this is bad, what I'm going to say, you know. What is it that's controversial? I said, well, have you ever looked at a dog's tongue and thought, oh, look at your face.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. Oh,
Look
this
at the
is
black
bad,
dude.
what I'm going to say, you
Look at
know.
the black dude.
What is it that's controversial? I said,
Right
well,
here.
have you ever looked at a dog's tongue and thought, oh, look at your face. That's what I'm saying.
She's not joking.
That's not funny, though. They find.
That's yeah. That yikes. So and you look at the comments right here. The comments like, I know. He said white women are never beating the allegations. Somebody said, I know she lets her dog eat her box, and that happens. That happens a lot more than people think. I remember even a girl. It was like an all woman podcast, and she said like, yeah, She said like, yeah, when you're young in your 20s, just let your freak flag fly. You know, I don't care if it's dudes, girls, dogs. She literally said that. I shit you not. She said that, and people just glossed over that. She said dogs, and you're just like, what the fuck? So, yep. V, there's yeah. Welcome to America, bro. Welcome to America, V.
Yo, think
The so-
about
the-
the new STDs that could come, you know,
Yeah,
like
and now
new
you
like
got there's
STDs, you know what I mean? Like if you
there's there
fuck
there
animals, if you
Yep.
fuck animals, like S a new type of STDs can be born, you know.
Yep. That's that's literally what's happening right now in America. They're finding there's super gonorrhea that's not going away that they're finding and antibiotics can't treat it. There's a new they was talking about two specific new diseases that they said they just came out of nowhere, and it's like it just has to do something with just like the new germs that comes through it and the bacteria. They just don't have a name for it, but they said they came out of nowhere. But if you're dealing with a girl, with I remember the Muslim barber when he was talking to me about that story about how his friend dated a white girl, and the guy caught the white girl he was messing with the dog, and he said that just one day he came down with something ill, and he took some he just didn't know what it was, but then he took some pills, but then he kept coming down with this specific illness, but he didn't know what it was until he found his white girlfriend messing with the dog, and now he realized why he was feeling so sick, but there was no name for the illness that he had, a bacteria that he was suffering from. So yeah, these are the things that we're gonna have to watch out for in the future. So yeah.
Quick question.
No.
Yo, quick question though.
Yeah.
I like do like white girls know or
I like girls that like me.
no,
So
like
do I do what my preference is
no. What do girls say about Asian men? Like in your what have you heard about like Asian men? You know, what do they talk about? You know,
well, when it comes to American women, they talk shit about any man.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So, but now when
Also,
you look
though,
when you look at the statistics, they it's white dudes one,
yeah.
black
Oh,
dudes two, but in certain states it'll be black dudes one. Like in certain states it'll be black dudes one. Which I'll be shocked that black dudes be in the top two. Like the amount of media propaganda against ninjas in general, I'll be shocked that we top two. So it's usually top two is white, and then black two, then three Latino, if I'm not mistaken, and then four Asian, if I'm not mistaken. That's usually the rankings that American women would go for in terms of what women prefer. Now, worldwide, I think is white one, black two, three Latino, then four Asian worldwide, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken. So it's still the same thing worldwide.
But like, what if that girl is into like K-pop or something like that?
If she's into what you said?
K-pop.
K-pop. Oh,
Yep, yep.
K-pop. Well, like I said, well, most women are gonna go if they're gonna try to shoot for the top 20% men, anyways, no matter the race. In my opinion, they're gonna try to see the best of which they can attract, anyways. And at the end of the day, they go for money, anyways, because
Yeah.
you got these people in what's the place called Saudi Arabia, literally getting these bitches in, taking dumps on them, letting camels take for all types of money. You know what I
You
mean?
know,
I,
There's
I
literally
would
Dubai,
a
I
lot
would
more calls itself the human potty.
you know, yeah,
yeah. So
Dubai porter party.
exactly. So I wouldn't put too much stock in it. I always say this: if you, I believe this, in my opinion, in terms of whether or not to attract women. Even I don't really put too much stock into that, because the most cooperation I've seen women be with are with degenerates and drug dealers. Those were those,
Yeah.
for some reason, women treat those guys like kings. So I don't try to put stock into it, but I always say this: social proof is king. Social proof is king. So if you're a guy that's well known or that's popular, or for some reason you have a lot of bitches, then she'll be attracted to you. You know what I mean?
Okay.
If you put the if you show all the rock stars from like the 80s and 90s that all these ladies were attracted to, and you put like their pictures there, most people will be like, "What?" But at the time, they were the biggest stars, and it just shows you they just go by status,
Yep.
social proof first. Not
Whatever's
even really money. Not even really money. For me, it's social proof.
Okay,
So
okay. So last thing, for today, I'll
yeah,
ask last thing about that you said about influence, right? Black influence. I
yeah,
didn't say it like it's too influential. I'm saying you are influential, but you have to be aware about like bad influences. Like, you talked about small hats and how they're trying to portray you guys worldwide, right?
yeah.
So I was just saying, like, I'm not saying, your influence is bad and all,
No, no,
but
I
like,
know. Yeah, but that's what I meant. I meant to say that, like, that we have a really large reach, and
yeah,
I
yeah,
said,
yeah,
like, we have to be careful
yeah,
sometimes with that.
because like,
You know.
there are ancient tradition that's going on, right? And they see you doing, like, where in my Twitter feed, right? There is like this one segment, I would say segment, of like high school black students beating each others up, right? And it's crazy, bro. I don't think that type of thing actually happens, or does it happen? You know?
So here's the
Reaper,
thing. Here's the thing.
Reaper.
Here's the
Yeah, I was about to say Reaper. You want to handle
they
that? Yeah.
get this is the thing I hate, and this is where the racism and all that stuff comes into, because they get the worst of us. Because I've seen white guys beat the fight in high school, bang heads, body slam, all that shit. I've seen Asian people fight. I've seen all that shit, and it's only the black people who get. Oh my gosh, they show. Please don't take the degeneracy of us as what is our culture. They're not going to sit there and show black men graduating, and they're not going to show a whole bunch of black guys in fucking suits and shit, and they're not going to show the Detroit 500 that was in place where they were protecting the neighborhood and that shit. They show the worst of us, my guy. So I would just say, don't think that's what all black people are. That we're just
No, 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 no.
constantly
I was
fighting.
just, I was just saying, like, I seek the truth, right?
Mhm.
But not many like me are going to seek the truth, right? And they're just going to take that for, like, as it is, and they're just going to think, oh man, black people like this, you know what I mean? So, like, at my best, I try to tell them that's not how really things are. There are more nuances to it. So, like, but I think you should be aware, like, you're being portrayed in a light which may not be that
Oh,
desirable.
we're
Yeah.
very aware.
Oh yeah,
But
we
here's
know.
the
Yeah,
thing.
we already.
Why
Yeah, we
do
know. Yeah.
why? Here's the thing too, and maybe it's a little pushback against Chris. Why do I have to account for the degenerate motherfuckers of my group
Yeah,
when
I know
no one
everyone.
else does that, bro?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I
yeah.
and are you from India?
Yeah, Northeast
Northeast,
India.
Northeast India.
Northeast,
We are a
right?
bit
So
different. Yeah, we're a
I,
bit
I have a
different.
friend who's Sikh, right? And he's like, yo, with all the things that's happening in India,
Yeah,
where girls are getting, you know, whatever. He says, yo, those are the Hindis. He said those aren't his people. I might be saying the name wrong. He's always like,
Yeah,
yo,
yeah.
those
No,
ain't us. Those are the
Hindus,
Hindus. I'm like,
Hindu.
it's unfair how when something happens with black people, I gotta account for what these stupid idiots in the projects or stupid idiots at school. I gotta account for that dumb shit. But no one else has, and I can go to every country, every ethnicity, and they're doing some degenerate shit, honor
Yes,
killings.
yes, yes, yes,
Like,
yes.
come on, dog. So, you know, it happens, bro. But yeah, I'm not accounting for that shit. Those are the degenerates over there. That's not indicative of black.
Yeah.
So for most, I always say this for particularly in ninjadom, I like to say they always are going to take the worst of us. Always, you
Yeah.
know, and I will say it like this. I always say it like this because it was I remember it was this white dude. He was like, "How can I get my daughter not to date black dudes?" And I actually gave him I gave him advice. I said, "Look, you already lost. You already lost because the more you make somebody the boogeyman,
Yep. The more they're gonna be attracted.
you're the more you're literally raising his dick in the air like this.
Yep.
You're literally saying, go to this guy. That's what, especially when you look at college, right? And they'll meet one of those dudes on the fraternity, right? That be doing them dances. Woo, woo. Well, and he's not gonna be that bad of a dude. He's just gonna be a regular dude with style, blah blah blah. And she's gonna be like, "Wow, that's not so bad." And you already lost. And like I said, and I told him you already lost. And I said, "Look, if I can already tell that you don't like ninjas, you think your daughter doesn't see that? So by the time she goes to college, you already lost."
Yeah.
You've been
And I
talking
always bring
about
up
You've been talking about ninjas as a boogeyman for years. And all
years.
she sees is Michael Jordan. She sees LeBron James. She sees, and she's like, "Wait, why do you hate black people? Because they look how they act. They're muscular. They're cool. They have style." And so, like you said, you raise the dick profile all these years of you being racist. Every time y'all watch the news, you talk about, "Oh, see out there, they're thugging out there." And then she goes to school. She might go to a mixed school and might not even see that. She might be like, I don't. Why is he so racist? Because bro, you lived in Connecticut, bro. I lived in Wilton, Connecticut.
Yeah.
And that's all it was, bro. That's all it was. These white girls who they were telling me, girls, this one girl, Emily, would tell me her father was racist, blah, blah, blah. Man, I was hooking up with her every other free period. We go into the staircase. But I couldn't go over to her place because she said her father was racist. So they, like you said, you just raised the dick profile of black men for years. Think about all the racist shit her father's been saying. Her mother is just sitting up there kind of like, you know, white women always like to play the middle. They don't really go, a lot of them go full racist or full.
Okay, like this is the real last thing, you know. One of the things you can tell like how influential you are is like you know like the Asian rap space, Asian rapping space,
Yeah.
Asian rap artists, they're becoming like more known, you know what I mean? Do you see them? What are your thoughts? I mean, do they have skills or
But I don't.
Asian
Well,
rap?
I don't really listen to rap like that anymore. To be to be honest with you, and I'll say
But
this.
you know that one guy with that he was rapping about ching 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 chings. I can say that, okay? Even though I'm Indian, I'm a
But
chinky guy. I can say
I've only seen videos, but I don't follow the rap scene like outside of America. Like, cause
yeah.
I'm not, first of all, I wasn't even raised in rap. My what's it? There's a but believe it or not, you might not know this, but there's a lot of black families where they grew up with real strict parents that they don't allow their kids to listen to rap. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yeah,
You got even like you got African parents. I know that
Oh, yeah.
they literally they don't fuck with rap
You
at all.
see how
You know what I
I
mean?
view you now? You see how I'm viewing you? I just assume like you're all black, so you're all like uh, uh you all like
Smart.
rap music, you know?
Yeah.
So I
Bro,
apologize for that, bro. I didn't know. I'm sorry, okay?
now
No,
you
I
that's
good,
thought
bro, Ron.
no.
I
The
just
thing is
thought
that you're different from probably a lot of other people because you actually, it sounds corny, but you're actually trying to learn and you're honest about your perception. That's fine. Breaking cognitive dissonance is probably the hardest thing for most humans to do. A lot of people are proud about it. They're not going to change their ways. So you don't have to apologize, but you're being honest. Like honestly, if
No,
you went up
no,
to most
yeah, yeah.
people and you're saying and you had that perception and you told them honestly, bro, you're having an honest conversation, they wouldn't be mad at you. You'd be like, oh, okay, nah, we don't do that shit.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No,
But a
I
lot of
just
motherfuckers will
assume you
sit up there.
guys listen to rap, so I'm just apologizing for that.
No, that's
"No, you're
fine. But
good."
I'll
Yeah.
like I'll just tell you. I'll tell you this. There's a lot of black families I know where their parents they don't fuck with rap at all.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like I'm
Yeah,
talking about
yeah.
they're more strict than like they're more strict than even the Asian parents that I know that they'll be like no we don't fuck with rap. You know what I'm saying? They be
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because that's kind of how I grew up. But in terms of the rap scene, I don't care about the rap scene really. Even though I got many favorite rappers, obviously, when we talk about but most of my favorite rappers are all underground rappers, so I'm gonna be naming names that you probably might not know. But the rap scene that has, I don't even care where it goes because I prefer to listen to jazz, R&B in general.
Yeah.
I like listening to, but I remember when I was a kid, when I played the cello, I had to listen to a lot of classical music, even though I didn't like it, but I ended up knowing a lot of it. Then I had
Oh, yeah.
so
Chris.
I
And
know a lot
Yeah,
Vaughn,
of
yeah,
just real
jazz.
yeah.
quick, Vaughn, just real
I
quick
heard
to the
like
point, right?
I heard
Here's the thing with
you're a
black or with
musician,
rap
right?
music, right? I just want to say the perception of rap music is so negative typically, right? But we don't own the music. We don't own the record labels. We don't own. I'm not saying you can't get willing participants to do this shit, right? But what I've realized in rap is that every time there was a factor of becoming a little bit more conscious, trying to like make music that wasn't just ratchet garbage, there's always been a pushback. And it's not by just mostly black people pushing back on it. So when you think about the perception of rap, just think of someone else controlling the shit behind the scenes that don't look like us, but they make
Okay,
money off
okay,
of
okay.
rap. For instance, Leo
Okay, okay.
Cohen, the name sounds whatever. Give you clues. Leo Cohen said, Leo Cohen literally said that when they asked him on Breakfast Club, if you had a kid who had drug problems, right?
Yeah.
And they were high off a lean or like they had a lean addiction, right? They couldn't get off, but they made good music. Like essentially, what would you do? I'm paraphrasing. And he was like, he basically said he wouldn't wean them off the drugs because he's like, yo, I got a family to feed. He said that. You can look it up on the Breakfast Club. I'm not lying. Charlemagne, Charlemagne plays, he's a bitch. But he plays both sides. And he's just like, oh, isn't that messed up? And he's like, oh, I got the family to feed. So that's when we talk about guys, Juice World, all these guys passing away or people making negative images and rap and you could get a sexy red. It's not us controlling the music, bro. It's someone else. So
I'll and V, I know that was your last question, but I'll say this: there's a dating element to it. So, what are
Okay.
girls usually attracted to? Something that's perceived to be dangerous, something that's perceived to be edgy. So, what used to be the edgy thing in the 80s, 70s? It used to be rock, used to be punk rock and roll, right?
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
the edgiest music genre is allegedly rap. And now you got women are usually there's always they're always gonna have the corner of their eye. They're always gonna be peeking through. Who's the dangerous guy? Who's the especially in America? Especially in America, they're literally gonna be like, okay, what's the dangerous? Oh, the guy that's rapping about Xanax and all this other stuff. These the degeneracy. You know what I mean? So
Yep, yep,
there's
yep.
a dating element to that. So this is why you're even seeing Asians doing stuff like that because they want to stand out. They want to stand out. It's another dating strategy, but that's a whole another conversation in and of itself. But Reaper, any last words from you?
yeah, I apologize for ranting on so long, Mo, but
Oh
it
no,
just
you're bro, bro. I say you're 5150. I always say 5150 family always has a space on my podcast. I'll say
I
that space on my on my podcast. You'll always have a space on my podcast because a lot of the 5150 fans like the stuff that you say. I've literally said that on my even before you subscribe to me.
uh
Everything that you've said, I've literally echoed. So we all have that same mentality, that same thinking. So I don't have to explain myself. You know what I'm saying? When I display this information to the normies. So like I said, you always have a spot here. You know what I mean? For me.
And I just want to say real quick, man, I appreciate you having me on, bro. Definitely support the channel, man. Watch your videos when I'm at work, bro. So you be laughing at the same stupid shit I be laughing at with the the idiocy of some of this shit, though. But just what you said real quick, when you said just real quick, you said that that girls the girl said, oh, get your freak on, whether it's men, woman, or dogs. Don't forget also kids too, because for some reason these able-bodied looking women who don't look so bad, they love mess with these little kids in the school. So that's another category that they don't mind. They get freaky with anything. So they sexualize themselves and then say men are doing it. But you know, the way you dress, what you pick, every girl that I feel every girl is somehow homosexual, but a part of them is homosexual. So they're just free spirits. But you have to do like Solomon in the Bible, bro. Oh, no, don't be like Solomon in the Bible. He actually loved the girls, fuck them over with their religions. But stay steadfast, man. Just be smart and critically think. That's it. But thanks for having me on, bro.
Yeah, no problem, man. And what you said about the kid, I said, look, it's I said it's very simple. I said, look, it's interesting. You got these girls that they could eat, like they're not ugly, but for some reason they're catching them with kids, and you think like, don't you have they could literally go on Tinder, get a grown dude, but I guess it's not enough anymore. So this is a dangerous time we're living in. It's a very dangerous time
That
for
shit
all
is
these.
wild, bro. Like, you show one light-skinned black girl, and I'm like, she's not, bro. She goes to any place.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I always show her.
I'm like, what the fuck? Why? But it comes again because they want something they can control. They know their personalities are garbage. They know they have mental issues. And some kid who's at the, I don't say the peak, but just even, it's disgusting. Just starting his puberty is going to be out of his mind with horniness. And and now they get that attention. So yeah, it's a sick phenomenon. Of course, these girls, they're not even getting nearly the time that the men will get. They might get some probation here. They might get some years if it's bad enough. But it's a really ugly world. But I'm looking up this dog pill shit on Reddit, bro, and this is pretty disgusting. So thanks for putting me on, man.
Yo, Chris.
What's up?
Can I ask one last thing?
Okay, yeah.
Why is what do you mean when they say Drake is zesty?
He's well, well, I don't want to say the F. I don't want to say the F word. I was my my peak uncensoredness almost came out there, but he's
left-handed, as they would say back in the day.
He's fruity. He's fruity. He does a little fluffy stuff sometimes. You know, he's a fruity.
He's left.
But he acts so hard, bro. It's always so funny.
So what you're gonna see in the rap industry, there's a lot of dudes that perpetrate that they're hard and they got a whole lot of girls, but really they like dudes. It's a lot of guys like that in the rap game. That's why I also say don't take what you see for the rap at face value. A lot of those guys are gay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. About Boondocks, bro. Is there gonna be a new season?
No.
Oh man.
Because the guy that played the grandfather, he passed away. They're never. I don't even think they're gonna do it. And Regina King, the woman that played Huey and Riley, yeah, that she's probably not gonna do that again. In shows like that, they just need to let it go. You know, it was good for the time, legendary at the time, but to bring it back up again, it's just not gonna be the same. When they try to bring the Boondocks back in like 2014, but they didn't even Aaron McGruder didn't even write it, so it just ended up being a bust. So they're just gonna leave it alone. They're just gonna leave it alone. Okay. But it's a legendary show, you know, legendary show, man. Yeah. So yeah, I'm a sign.
Okay,
sign
Chris.
off.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Yeah, no problem, man. And peace out, guys. I'm gonna sign off on this. Daphne Joy, you wrong for what you're doing. And I'm gonna see you guys later, man.
All right, peace, man.
Peace.